of ABC Sports.
They are known as the ground-pounding Cornhuskers from Nebraska. They wear red and white, and they produce thunder on the plains. The Oklahoma Sooners, the will-o'-the-wisp Sooners, flickering from the wishbone like zephyrs, leaving dust devils to torment the foe. That's the past. The now for Oklahoma is travel by air with pilot Cale Gundy. And just in case it gets too expensive, Steve Collins is still around to lead the old-fashioned option charge. Nebraska's now looks like the past. Great running backs like Derek Brown and we-back partner Calvin Jones. Mix them together and you get Big Red Time from Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma. ABC Sports College Football today features a CFA matchup. The Cornhuskers of Nebraska and the Oklahoma Sooners. And a happy Thanksgiving to you from the campus of the University of Oklahoma in Norman. Many of the students obviously away for the holiday for some home cooking, but still plenty of bustle around Big Red Weekend. The Sooners went to Oklahoma City last night for their Thanksgiving dinner, stayed there. Nebraska also in the city, but came down by bus a little while ago for a very mild day. The Sooners following a long-standing act as they leave their locker room. The sign has been there since the 40s. And hello again, everybody. Welcome to Oklahoma. I'm Keith Jackson. And we're going to help you enjoy this holiday weekend with this old traditional in college football, the Cornhuskers and the Sooners. If you're taking a peek at your favorite ball, that's fine. Just don't stand in front of the for sale signs. Everybody will be happy. Take a look at the Big 8 conference standings. You find quite a story. Nebraska has to win its final 2 games to claim the conference championship after getting beat last week, to get the ticket to the Orange Bowl. If they should lose to here today or in Tokyo to Kansas State, then Colorado would be on the way to Miami. Oklahoma, as you see there in the overall standings, they've got 5 wins overall. They've got to win 1 more. That is, they got to win today in order to qualify for any kind of a bowl bid, because that's the rule in Division 1A. But let's talk about this Tokyo thing for a second as we join up with our partner, Bob Greasy. Bob, the deal to go to Tokyo, in case everybody wonders about it, was made a year ago by Kansas State. It's their home game, and Nebraska agreed to it, neither team realizing how much would be hanging on it when they finally went over there to play. It's worth about $200,000 to each team versus the normal $80,000 you'd get if you play a home game down in Manhattan. So that's why they're going. But the funny part is both teams going on the same airplane with only a band to separate them. That'll be kind of
always
funny.
It comes down to money, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's talk about your first Oklahoma-Nebraska football game now.
First time here. I'm looking forward to it. 2 offenses, directly opposite offenses. Nebraska, 7 times in the last 12 years, they have led the nation in rushing. The 2 backs that you saw in the opening, Brown and Jones, lead the Big 8, 1 and 2, and they also are averaging nearly 100 yards in rushing. But the man that makes it go is Tommy Frazier. Quarterback Tommy Frazier, the true freshman, an outstanding option player. 4 starts, 8 touchdown passes, and no turnovers, no interceptions. Now, for Oklahoma, it's a little bit different. Cale Gundy has come in. They've gone to a passing style of offense, but if you want 24 starts, he has set season records and career records for Oklahoma. But the thing that's got Osborne and Nebraska worried is the option. And Steve Collins, the backup, they can go to the option. Nebraska had problems with it at Iowa State. Collins is a man if they want to go to the option.
This rivalry is 73 games old. The Sooners have a 9-game edge overall, 8-game edge here in Norman. It's time to play the big red game out on the plains this year of Oklahoma.
When we told Nike how we could design a communications network to actually help them run better, do you know what they told us?
Some fur. Some fur. Everyone fur. Whoa, his scent.
Preferred stock cologne from Stetson. What preferred men prefer.
When life turns up the heat.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. I'm Jeff Green.
There's Degree antiperspirant. Degree's body heat activated
One more minute.
to release extra protection.
Jeff?
Hi.
Degree, your body heat turns it on.
So you're actually putting money away.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
I've changed. Especially since the baby.
Dad'd be real proud. So where do you have your savings in?
I have it savings.
What kind of savings?
In a bank.
Want to do me a favor? Talk to my broker, Payne Weber. You probably manage that money a lot better than the bank.
This is my savings we're talking about here. I mean, how's a broker supposed to know what I need?
They'll ask.
The more you take away from this Chevy Cavalier VL, the more it resembles the Honda Civic DX. Take away Cavalier's anti-lock brakes, base coat clear coat paint. Take away its two-sided galvanized steel, automatic door locks, Scotchgard treated seats, and toll-free 24-hour roadside assistance. But there's at least one thing you'd have to add. $1,500. The Chevy Cavalier. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
CFA College Football, this ABC Sports exclusive. Brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, Chevrolet, and your local Chevy dealer. By Xerox, the document company. By Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now. And by GTE.
What the hell is this doing?
At Owen Field in Norman, here come the Sooners. Oklahoma 5-3-2 on the season. Like Michigan, they've made a lot of sisters happy with their 2 ties. Coach Gary Gibbs ending the 4th season 29-13-2. He's beaten Nebraska 1 time. Played here, linebacker 72-3-4. He was here as a national championship team member in 74 under Barry Switzer. 14 years an assistant coach and defensive coordinator under Barry. And guess who's on the Sooner schooner? Here's Jackaroot.
Keith, this is unbelievable. I've been to Indianapolis, Daytona, you name it. This is the wildest ride I've ever had. As we go to the tunnel, let me tell you one thing. Now I know why you say, "Whoa, Nelly!"
We may never see him again. The Nebraska Cornhuskers 7-2, 12th in the AP poll. Losses are to Washington and Iowa State. Last win was here in 1988 by this man, Tom Osborne, who is in his 20th season as head coach, plus 11 seasons at Lincoln as an assistant to Bob Devaney. Only one man in the history of the Big 8 Conference has greater tenure than Tom Osborne at a Big 8 school. That would be Benny Owen, the man for whom this field is known. The coach's opinions about where the game will swing. Here's Tom.
Well, they're going to try to make us throw the ball, certainly. I guess what they're always going to try to do is stop you on 1st down, 2nd down, and try to make you a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Our objective is not to get in that situation. And we'll throw it some. And obviously what we'd like to do is to throw it from strength, where it's 2nd and 2 and not 2nd and 10.
We got to be physical in the offensive and defensive lines. We can't turn the football over offensively and give them great field position, and we can't allow them the big plays against our defense.
And it looks like Jack has survived his hazardous ride through the tunnel, so let's check in with him.
I'll tell you a story, Keith, about what happened 8 days ago here in Norman, Oklahoma. Remember in the media they reported a strike, a sit-down. What it was, basically, I've learned, simply a team meeting between the coaches of Oklahoma and their players. What was explained to me and what I have found out is there was no such thing as a dissension or anything of that nature. They were coming off a tie with arch rival Oklahoma State. Both the players and the coaches felt that it was important to refocus their efforts, especially for this game, and also trying to go for the 6 victories needed and hopefully getting a bowl berth. What they did is they sat down, they talked about it. What they've told me is very simply, it was just a team meeting. What every team does, year in and year out.
And Donnie Duncan, the athletic director at Oklahoma, just stopped in a little while ago to reaffirm certain things. And he said when Gary Gibbs was hired, his charge was, make it the way we want it, and you'll have time to see the fruits of your labor. So he, in the judgment of the leadership of the university, is not under pressure. Byron Bennett, Jr. out of Rowlett, Texas, will kick it off for the Cornhuskers. Dewell Brewer and Michael Thompson, numbers 23 and 45, respectively, left to right, are the people deep for Oklahoma to return it. And here we go with the 73rd game between these two old rivals. Very little wind. It's an incredible day for this time of the year. And look out. Thompson's had hot feet, boy. He wanted to come out of there in a hurry. And finally, his teammates made him stay in the end zone, and they will come out to the 20 with it first down. And the man who will lead them out here to make the play on the first down will be Cale Gundy, whose record against Nebraska you see here. He is the first of the new generation of quarterbacks, if you will, at Nebraska. The diehard starting lineup for Oklahoma features Corey Warren. When they go to the pass, he is the man that Gundy looks first to. Joey Mickey is a 269-pound tight end. Gundy has run, ironically, for 2 touchdowns against Nebraska. And on the first play, they go to their big fullback, Kenyon Rashid. He is a 5th-year senior, 240-pounder, and he picks up about 6 yards. The offensive front for Oklahoma features in the middle of it J.R. Conrad, 6'5", 300-pound, true freshman from Fairland, Oklahoma. It's not often you see a true freshman snapping the football at this level.
First time ever at Oklahoma that this has happened.
Sooners now go double wide to the bottom of the picture on second down and a short 4, long 3. Try to run it around the corner with Dewell Brewer. He's a 205-pound senior out of Lawton, Oklahoma. And the Huskers track him down after about a yard pickup. The Nebraska defensive unit features John Perella up front. Now, you'll just see 92 flying all over the field. He's a big guy. In fact, he weighs about a half a ton. But he is a really tough competitor. The linebacking pressure offers Hill and Alberts off the corner. They don't blitz a whole lot at Nebraska. And Tyrone Bird is a 4-year starter in the secondary. And the Sooners have a first down as Rashid moves the ball now to the 32. So they are successful in going for 12 yards in 3 plays. I've been telling Bob Greasy about some of the rigors of winter that you can run into when you travel through this part of the country late in November. And he doesn't believe a word I've said. This is the day when guys are out playing golf. Big hole up the middle for Brewer. And Brewer gets almost to the 40 for a pickup of 8 yards.
Good blocking up front early in the game. 78 is the true freshman Conrad that you mentioned. He is the first and only true freshman ever to start at center for Oklahoma. Did a nice job there.
Ernest Williams, number 20 now, checks in at the deep back position. He's a junior out of Aurora, Colorado, so they alternate him a lot like Nebraska. And he's quick. He's through there for the first down as he slashes his way up to about the 44-yard line. And so the Sooners now have picked up successive first downs. On the tackle for the Huskers, Bruce Moore. Bruce Moore is one of those guys that Tom Osborne has always liked to recruit. He's 6'6". He came to school weighing about 210 pounds. He's grown a couple of inches, but more importantly, he's added 30 pounds. So he's playing today at 6'6", 240. Get him with a big frame and then put some beef on it. Quick pop pass. Thrown to the right side by Gundy. And a solid, sure tackle made on Albert Hall by Kenny Wilhite, the cornerback on that side of the field. They play left and right cornerbacks at Nebraska. Wilhite, a senior from St. Louis. He had his man and took him down right where he made contact.
First couple of first downs that Gundy and Oklahoma has made have been on the ground, and all of the publicity and all the attention, obviously, for Oklahoma recently has been through the air. So I think it's important that they establish something on the ground.
Second down and 1 for the Sooners, wearing the red. The Huskers are in the white. Send it into the middle. That's Rashid, and he's got another first down. And now Oklahoma in the opening kickoff has run off 3 successive first downs.
3 first downs on the ground, and that can only help Oklahoma's passing game in the long run.
Sooner offensive front popping off the snap of the ball very well so far.
Come on, dude, we got it.
Williams is out and Brewer is back now. Tink Collins comes down to the bottom of the picture. He's the widest of the 3 wideouts. Gundy stays with a running game. And again, it's Rashid. And he's got a hole. He bounces on the ground at the Nebraska 35, and that's where they'll put it down, about 2 yards short of the first down. They're going to have to swap this rug in one of these days. It's beginning to show some wear and tear. And I wouldn't be surprised we come back next year, we'll see a new one. Rashid now has 4 carries. He's run the ball for 7, 4, 4, and 8 yards on each of the carries. So they're moving the ball on the ground. Little quick pop pass down the middle. It is caught by Albert Hall, his second catch in this possession. He's got a first down just short of the Nebraska 20. Kenny Wilhite got a hold of him and held on. Otherwise, he's got 6.
So far, everything is going well for Oklahoma. They've got the running game going now. A little quick drop 3 steps and throw. Nebraska that time came with a blitz to stop the run. Had everybody committed and a good tackle on the corner on the play.
So it's first down and 10. Call it the 21-yard line. Send it back into the middle. This time the pickup is no more than 3 for Dewell Brewer. 5'9", 205, stocky fellow. Good feet. The linebackers inside for Nebraska, Ed Stewart, Mike Anderson, have been handled so far, except that time they got involved. Varela, we've not called his name as yet, so somebody is handling him up in the front. Make it second down and 7. The ball is at the Nebraska 18-yard line, the opening possession of the ball game. Gundy hands it off to the deep man. That's Brewer. And Brewer will get 3 yards to the 15.
A 92 in white is Perella. He's been blocked to the inside. Now the linebacker, Williams, filled. When you have when a lineman slants one way or the other, the linebacker comes around and fills. So really, Perella did his job that time. Williams, the linebacker, came in and filled the hole.
Jeff Ressler had a pretty good grip on him, didn't he?
He did.
Hammerlock. Third down and long 4. Rashid, the single back. Gundy will throw it very quickly. Man is hit behind the line of scrimmage. P.J. Mills. Mills is a true freshman. He now has 17 catches in his freshman year. That is just 2 catches short of a record held by a long-time old friend of mine, Jimmy Owens. Jim caught 19 in his freshman year back in 1946. So it'll bring up a field goal try here for Oklahoma as the Cornhusker defense got a little nasty inside the 20-yard line. Scott Blanton has hit 11 field goals in a row to tie a Big 8 record. This is a 33-yard try, and he has just untied the record. He now owns it. A 33-yard kick is good for a 3-0 Oklahoma lead off the opening possession.
This Chevy Lumina is made of steel that's so rust resistant, it's covered by warranty virtually until the end of this century. So, no matter how life changes by then, your Lumina will still look beautiful. 6 years or 100,000 miles. That's our guarantee. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
Panasonic presents a unique and highly evolved Smooth Operator. The new Smooth Operator 2 with float control is the only razor to unite the comfort of twin independent floating heads with the closeness of a warm, wet shave. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. The new Smooth Operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you would be.
There's a dry chill blowing down from the Rockies. It's Coors Dry, brewed with pure Rocky Mountain spring water. Double chilled for brewery fresh taste and a finish as clean as ice. Then delivered mountain cold from the Rockies to your store. This is not just a better dry. This is a better beer. Coors Dry. Feel the chill.
French couples Tom Kite, Greg Norman, and Payne Stewart. 4 of golf's leading men see who's the king of swing in the Skins game Saturday on ABC Sports.
That is a new Big 8 conference record, 12 straight field goals, obviously an OU record. And you see the numbers on the possession, the first one of the game for the Sooners, and they take the lead. Now it's Nebraska's turn to get the ball. Scott Blanton will kick it off. Tyrone Hughes, 33. Corey Dixon, number 2, waiting for it. Oh, there's a lot of foot on that one. There will be no return. So Nebraska will start at the 20, just as the Sooners did. And Tommy Frazier, the true freshman out of Manatee High School in Bradenton, Florida, comes out. 1992, that's what he has done so far. And I want to tell you, folks, that is impressive.
No turnovers is impressive.
Die Hard starting lineup features the I-backs, or the tailbacks, or as they call themselves, the we-backs. Derek Brown starts the ball game as the deep man lined up behind Lance Lewis. And here's the pitch to Brown. And that's right about the line of scrimmage. He'll have 1 yard as Oklahoma, convinced that they must play a virtually maniacal game defensively, hold him to a short yard. The offensive front in the Die Hard starting lineup features Will Shields. He is 75. You will want to watch him. This is an outstanding offensive front. But Shields weighs 306 pounds, and for the first 15, 20 yards can outrun Brown. And it's a sight. Here goes Derek the other way. He is from La Habra, California. He gets around the corner. And on his way to the sidelines, he will go out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. The Oklahoma defensive unit will open with Allen Campbell Jones, the down 3. The backers are 4 in number. Beavers and Barnes, very, very good. Brian Gorka is in there today, replacing injured Mike Coates. And he's the man they probably will want to test, because this is a brand new adventure for him to start at that position. It's 3rd down and 4 for Nebraska. Little option down the line. Frazier keeps it. Taken down. Outstanding defensive play. And it's Brian Gorka, the sophomore from Stafford, Texas, who makes the play. And his confidence just soared.
Big series for Oklahoma, scoring, first of all, at least 3 points on offense, and then shutting Nebraska down the first time the defense is on the field, 3 and out.
This is one of those bloodlettings you can't let a team get pumped up too much for. You get yourself in trouble, get behind, you'll get beat. This is November. Mike Stiggy is in to do the punting. averaging just under 44 yards per punt, and he's got another hummer. Oh boy, all the way inside the 25, back to the 23. That's a 51-yard punt and no return. Sooners lead 3-0.
It seems Europeans have a passion for certain things American. And one of them happens to be the reliable, efficient delivery of a certain American delivery company, UPS. Fact is, we've built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So next time you need something shipped there, use the outfit Europeans find, well, so fashionable. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Oh dear, if you don't have a Die-Hard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die-Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most.
The Black & Decker Workmate. About all it can't help you do is clean up. But at least it gets out of your way, and it's a powerful gift idea.
I got an 88 Chevrolet Silverado with 304,000 miles. I drive it to work, 125 miles one way to work, 304,000 miles, still rolling.
This is the 1986 Chevrolet Scottsdale. The truck has now 577,000 miles on it. It always gives me my dollar when I needed my dollar.
Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Keep tires on it, keep gas in it, it'll go.
1959, the Oklahoma Sooners went north to Lincoln with a streak of 74 straight wins in the conference. It was homecoming for the Cornhuskers, and they whooped them 25-21 to break that streak. Bill Jennings, the Nebraska coach. Incidentally, in 1959, there was a 19th round draft choice by the 49ers, a quarterback from Hastings College. His name was Tom Osborne. All right, Oklahoma with the football. They're sitting out around the 23-yard line. Give it away to Williams. Ernest Williams hits over the right side. Not much of an offensive surge that time. Pick up a couple of yards on the play. Let's check in with Jack.
You have to give early marks. It'd have to be an A for intensity for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, when we were in their locker room yesterday, we discovered a special piece of paper that was posted on the locker room door. And what it did is it detailed a lot of the victories for an underrated former Oklahoma teams. What they did is they outlined and said, when you play for pride against Nebraska, you can win. That's what the coaches hope to instill in the players today.
They'll need it. 2nd down and 8. Gundy. Buys some time and gets his pass off, and it's dropped. Dropped by his tight end, Joey Mickey. And what can I tell you? He dropped it.
That's all you can say. Gundy made a good move to get free, buy some time. Mickey did a nice job to get open. He just dropped the ball. Would have had a first down.
5:39 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Sooners on a 33-yard field goal by Scott Blanton off the opening possession. It's 3rd down and 7 now for the Sooners.
Mickey, who dropped that ball, was a tight end, and he's the one you mentioned weighing 270 pounds.
Gundy throw it. Pressure coming. Weak side. Got it away to the sideline. They give him a catch. At the 35-yard line, Albert Hall, number 1, a sophomore from Bay City, Texas.
One of the keys all day for Oklahoma is going to be pass protection. Whenever you change from a running team to a passing team like Oklahoma has, you not only need a quarterback that can throw and receivers that can catch, but now your offensive linemen have to be able to pass block. Very key in this game.
Hall has caught 3 passes for 33 yards so far. Little delay, handed off to Ernest Williams. Face mask ball coming here. Ed Stewart, weak side linebacker, Chicago sophomore, grabbed it. And the determination of the call there looks like it might be an intentional. If so, it'll be 15 yards.
It's a draw play, and Stewart just beats the block. Yeah, he pulled on it real good. Stewart is light. He's an strong safety. He's only 205 pounds as an inside linebacker.
15-yard penalty.
Steve Usick out of North Glen, Colorado is the referee. You can almost tell when they give you that face mask call if that jaw's set by the referee, he's going to hit it.
Well, I mean, that was a correct call, too, because he had it a long time and really bent and really tackled with it.
49-yard line, first down, Oklahoma. Number 32 is Dwayne Chandler, a freshman from Aberdeen, Mississippi, who has checked into the lineup. A fellow named Dupre that came out of Mississippi a few years ago for the Sooners. Played a year, looked like he was on his way to an all-time great running career, but went off, tried the pros, and came to a lot of grief. Old knee injury got him. Second down and 8. Gundy's pass, intercepted. Nobody over there. Ed Stewart, touchdown, Nebraska. Like a bolt of lightning.
Nebraska leads the nation in turnover margin with plus 16. It's a play action pass. Tight end's going to go across field, and I just mentioned Stewart, who is an ex-strong safety. He's very light. He's very quick, 205 pounds. Big turnover for Oklahoma and a big score for Nebraska.
Byron Bennett is in for the extra point try. It is good. 4:34 to go in the first quarter, and the Huskers jump to the lead 7-3.
The quotes are in on the all-new Geo Prism. A look that easily surpasses Honda's best efforts to date. A handsomely styled, roomy, refined sedan. Inexpensive only on the bottom line. But the most impressive quote of all may be the one you get from your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
It's more than a fragrance. It's a force of nature. Gravity. For men. You couldn't resist it, even if you tried.
Ace Best Buys are terrific values every month, like these.
This Proctor Silex 12-cup pause and serve coffee maker is just $12.96, and Ace 70 mini light sets are only $2.88.
Ace Best Buys. Another reason Ace is the place for you.
4,573 real NFL plays of real NFL teams are now available in your living room.
The Braun Oral-B Plaque Remover effectively removes plaque, a major cause of gum disease. It thoroughly cleans between each tooth and below the gum line for teeth so clean you'll feel it. The Braun Oral-B Plaque Remover.
Ed Stewart with the interception for the touchdown. It was the 14th time this season that Cale Gundy has been intercepted. Point good, 7-3. Nebraska has the lead, and they will kick it off. Bennett hits it well back into the end zone, 3 yards deep. Michael Thompson again told, don't come with it. So the young man from Clovis, New Mexico touches a knee down, and the Sooners come to the 20. So here's Cale Gundy now trying to shake off the shot.
That's exactly right. He has to shake it off. Everything was going as planned. They had been on the field a long time in their first drive. That's what they want to do, is stay on the field and keep Nebraska's offense off the field. But you do not want to make big mistakes and turn it over like that, but come back with another good drive.
Rashid and Brewer in the backfield behind Gundy. Brewer slammed down at the 20-yard line. Number 93, Travis Hill, the big senior from Pearland, Texas.
Left side, number 93, that's Travis Hill. He is the outside linebacker and leads this team in tackles. Also has 4 sacks coming in. He is an outstanding player. The strength of this Nebraska defense is its outside linebackers, Travis Hill and Trey Alberts.
Trev Alberts is at 230, Hill at 240. They're big enough to handle most anything short of an 18-wheeler. Gundy let it go as far as he can throw it. Pass is caught. Pass is caught by Albert Hall. He just turned around, looked up into the bright sun, and out-fought Kenny Wilhite for the ball. I don't think Kenny knew where the ball was.
Well, first check out the protection. Play action pass, fakes to his left, now throws back to his right. Man is not open. Wilhite is right there, but as you say, just does not find the ball. Wilhite is 5'8", top of your screen, and Hall is 5'11". A little bit of an advantage, but not a lot, but just a good play.
Big play, all the way down to the Nebraska 38-yard line. Rashid on this carry will pick up about a yard. So they move the ball from the 20 all the way to the Cornhusker 38. Big play, 42 yards. I don't think Gundy could have thrown it any farther.
I don't think it could either, and the coverage couldn't have been much better. Wilhite could have seen the ball when he saw the receiver looking back. He needed to react to the ball.
That's the problem, though, and I think it's a glaring example of what can happen in man coverage. Gundy gets it off under pressure, and the pass is behind the intended receiver, Corey Warren. And the reason for that was Gundy was being assaulted behind the line of scrimmage.
The reason he was being assaulted is because they were blitzing. And then, you talked about man coverage. Here the blitz is here, the safety is here. He's going to be up. Out here, it's man-to-man coverage on the outside. And in this, you got to take advantage of these situations. You don't get them that often.
Hall now with 4 receptions and 76 yards here in the first quarter. And Perella got caught. Unless somebody moved. He's arguing that there was movement. So let's see.
Dead ball. Offside. Defense. Still third down.
John lost the argument. Perella, number 92, is 6'5", 290. He is from Grand Island, Nebraska. David Noonan is the younger brother of Danny Noonan with the Cowboys, 6'3", 275. He's from Lincoln. Bruce Moore, the other fellow we talked about earlier, 6'6", 240. So those 3 down guys up front for Nebraska are big and very agile. 2:50 to go first quarter, 7-3. Huskers lead. Oklahoma back there knocking on the door. And once again, Nebraska got caught in the neutral zone. The minute the center sensed, or the quarterback Gundy saw Hill in there, they snapped the ball and they got it.
Well, what's happening here is the cadence of Gundy has the defensive line jumping off sides.
Offside. Defense. First down.
What a weapon this is for the offense, for those types of offense that choose to do it. See, he's got him off, and the center snaps the ball. The quarterback takes a knee. Now, it's a non-rhythmic cadence, and a lot of times you can pull these defensive linemen off.
Pretty good work there by that young freshman center, wasn't it? Noel Brewer carries the ball on first down from the Nebraska 26. And lo and behold, he runs inside the 20 to the 19. Picked up 7 yards with Bird and David White making the tackle. Tyrone Bird, 4-year starter in the secondary. This is what you want. You want 7 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards on first down. That's the catbird seat. This is Kenyon Rashid, and he runs it over the right side, got in behind Wrestler and Comer, and he's got a first down for Oklahoma at the Nebraska 13-yard line.
Well, if you're on the Oklahoma side of the field, this is exactly what you want. You want to stay on the field, take some time off the clock. This is exactly how Nebraska lost their last game at Iowa State. Their defense didn't step up. Iowa State gained over 400 yards in total offense and just took some time off the clock. In fact, had the ball 14 more minutes, did Nebraska.
Well, here in the first quarter, Oklahoma's run 25 plays, down 26-3 for Nebraska as Brewer carries for a couple of yards there. 1:45 to go in the first quarter.
Of course, that's that one big play that one big mistake that Oklahoma made that got Nebraska 7 points, too. The interception by Gundy. The best thing that Cale Gundy can do is take his team right back down the field and get it in the end zone, and that'll help forget about that interception.
There's that quick pop pass thrown to the sideline for Albert Hall. That's 5 catches for him. And they will move the marker down to near the inside the 7. They've got to go inside the 3, near the 2 to get their first down. And the wicket gets a bit sticky down here. 3rd down coming up and 4. P.J. Mills comes way wide to the left, bottom of the picture, all to the top.
By himself down here to the left, too.
They hand it off to Will Brewer, and Brewer will work his way to the 5, and that's all. He went for that same hole where Wrestler and Comer worked, and this time the Huskers plugged it. And so it is 4th down and 3. Now, what do you do, Coach Gibbs?
Well, I think what you need is some points on the board. You need to keep the momentum going. And if you've got a good play in this situation, you go with it. If not, you just wait for the quarter to end and give us more time to talk about it.
There's a tropical island that's not on any map, though it's easy to find. It's warmed by the sun and caressed by the winds, with its own hidden treasures, local delicacies, and exotic festivals. But this island moves. It's a Carnival cruise ship. So if you go, get there on time and get out your Visa card, because the world's most popular cruise line doesn't stay in one place for long, and it doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
When you publish thousands of newsletters a week, color is out of the question.
Invest in the fastest highlight color laser printer and come to a different conclusion. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Our sales figures were confusing. No one understood them.
With our digital color copier, you get the clarity of color with the stroke of a pen and touch of a screen. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
Chevrolet announces just about the last thing you'd expect from a car company: lower prices. Believe it or not, this is for real. Chevrolet is lowering the price of every new 1993 Cavalier Coupe, Sedan, Wagon, and Z24 Coupe. No gimmicks or hassles, just straight talk and lower prices. Surprised?
You shouldn't be. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
Hard work, determination. That's what makes the Huskers so successful. They've racked up impressive numbers over the years, with one statistic that no other school even comes close to. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln has produced more academic All-American athletes than any other university in the country. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln, champions of academic excellence.
We go to the second quarter of play with Scott Blanton on the field for Oklahoma, and apparently to try a 22-yard field goal. He has hit a 33-yarder for the first scoring of the game, and here he's trying to pull his team within one. Brad Riddell, the punter, holds the ball. Good snap, good hold, kick is away, kick is true. And so on the first snap of the ball in the second quarter, our score becomes Nebraska 7 and Oklahoma 6. But when you look at these numbers for the first quarter of play, it is absolutely startling that the Nebraska Cornhuskers had only 3 plays.
Well, if you skip the first line, which at the end of the first quarter it was 7-3, everything else is in favor of Oklahoma. 3 plays for Nebraska, 28 for Oklahoma. No first downs for Nebraska, 9 for Oklahoma, and on down the line. The one key thing there is a turnover. Oklahoma had the 1 turnover, which resulted in the 7 points for Nebraska. Time of possession, exactly what Oklahoma wanted to do. Again, similar to what Iowa State did a couple of weeks ago when they beat Nebraska. They held the ball and kept Osborne's offense off the field.
All right, Blanton will hit it. Tyrone Hughes and Corey Dixon will wait for it. Very little wind. A little whisper now and then. Can't believe how lucky we are to have this kind of weather with that blizzard
it's like this
passing.
all the time.
That blizzard passed through the plains the other day. Buried some areas in snow. Again, that kickoff is way back into the end zone. Bobbled back there by Hughes, but there will be no return. Looked like Hughes wanted to, but didn't handle it. So we got more college football for you tomorrow. We'll start out on the West Coast at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it'll be noon out in the eastern part of the country as Florida State hosts the Florida Gators in Tallahassee. And then a primetime special. Bob and I wing our way west for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and Southern California at 8 Eastern Time. Derek Brown is now in there at the I-back position for Nebraska. Normally they alternate by quarters, but Nebraska only had 3 offensive plays in the first quarter. So.
And because of that, Keith, there is some pressure right now on this Nebraska offense. I mean, they realize if they don't pick up a first down, they're going to be off the field again.
Yep.
So there is some pressure on Osborne, who's calling the plays, and their offense to stay on the field and run some plays.
They got 3 wide receivers now for Frazier, and he's checking off. They stay with their favorite weapon, the I-back, and Oklahoma tracks him down with Russell Allen, the junior out of Oklahoma City, leading the play with help from Tremaine Green. He's another Texan from Marshall. And so now Nebraska is looking at 3rd down and 5.
Well, one of the things that Tom Osborne likes to do is show a lot of formations early in the game on this play so he can see what the other team has given him. He has not had that opportunity here, having only 5 plays.
Derek Brown, the single back. Frazier's pass is away and incomplete. There was a Sooner who made a dive for it. Malin Wesley got his hands on it and deflected it, and so it's 3 plays and out again for the Cornhuskers. Mike Stiggy is back on the field to punt for Nebraska. His first one today was a 51-yarder, no return. DeWell Brewer will go back to receive the punt for Oklahoma. Nebraska leading the nation in net punting, 43 yards. Second quarter of play, 7-6. Nebraska. pass interception by Ed Stewart for the Nebraska touchdown. Stiggy's punt did not get it to turn over, and it takes an Oklahoma bounce and comes back to the Cornhusker 45-yard line. Only a 20-yard punt for Mike Stiggy, and the Sooners are on the Husker side of the
field. These cars seem pretty much the same, but the more you get to know Chevy Lumina Euro, the more you realize you get more car for your money. Like a bigger standard engine, standard anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, and more room. Lumina even has a higher resale value than Taurus. More car for your money when you buy it, more money for your car when you sell it. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
There's a dry chill blowing down from the Rockies. It's Coors Dry, brewed with pure Rocky Mountain spring water. Double chilled for brewery fresh taste and a finish as clean as ice. Then delivered mountain cold from the Rockies to your store. This is not just a better dry. This is a better beer. Coors Dry. Feel the chill.
Longtime rivals collide. The fifth-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame head west for a primetime war with the Trojans of USC Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Well, the Sooners, though they trail by a point, are pretty much right where they would like to be. Nebraska has had 6 plays plus 2 punts. That's all. No first down. Not even a whisper of one. Gundy hands the ball off to Dwayne Chandler. And Chandler gets a couple of yards down to about the 43 before he's thrown down. But again, the 3 down people and the backers for Nebraska have been held pretty quiet by the offensive front of Oklahoma. Only Ed Stewart, the weak side linebacker, when he had the pass interception for the touchdown, has made any noise. 2nd down and 8. Gundy underneath, ball dropped. That's the 2nd drop for Joey Mickey. He's either got to throw it over his head or throw it behind him or something different, because he keeps hitting him in the numbers and he's dropped it twice.
On the right side of your screen, the left receiver and the right receiver cross, and the umpire right there gets in Mickey's way, but still. Now that looks like a offensive lineman trying to catch a ball. Mickey is 265, right. 70 pounds, playing tight end. And he came in with 12 receptions on the year and not making a very good making the effort, but the results aren't there so far today.
Nebraska now shows a 6-man front. They don't blitz, but they got pressure on Gundy, but he's got his pass away and it is incomplete. And there's the penalty flag. He threw the ball to Ernest Williams, his tailback. And let's see about the call. It could be a hold, it could be interference, I suppose, but it really didn't look like it, did it?
Well, the whole thing started out as a wide receiver screen. That's why you saw Gundy continue to back up. And then when it went a foul from there when the defense of Nebraska smelled that out.
Ineligible man downfield. That's what it turns out to be. When you get that much scrambling, the linemen are going to make some progress on downfield. It's just the natural thing to do.
On a screen, the lineman can go downfield if you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which they plan to. Watch the receiver at the top. and the offensive linemen are going down. They were trying to get it to the back. Excuse me, the back.
Williams.
Yeah. Now, if the linemen are downfield and you throw the ball across the line of scrimmage downfield, that's man downfield.
And so the Huskers will refuse the penalty. They don't need it. They want the ball. They've got a problem going here. They haven't done anything yet. It's 4th down and 8. And in comes Riddell to do the punting. Brad Riddell is out of Bedford, Texas. Comes in with an average right at 42 yards per punt. Tyrone Hughes, number 33, is a senior out of New Orleans. And Tyrone plays both ways, offense and defense. And this one, he just tried to get a little spin on it. And as oftentimes happens when you swing the club easily, it goes farther. Back to the 20 it'll come.
At prices you can afford. You'll find it all at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Drive an imitation when you can drive the vehicle that originated the species. Chevy Blazer.
Far from Bourbon Street, in its own little corner of the Garden District, is the most fabled house in New Orleans, the Maple Street Children's Bookshop, where the folks who write the books also read them. So if you go, bring your wildest imagination and your Visa card, because at Maple Street, they'll take you on a truly magical journey, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
7-6, Nebraska leads Oklahoma, but the offense has done nothing. A 50-yard pass interception return by Ed Stewart for the touchdown. All the Huskers have had. They have the ball right now on the 20-yard line with Calvin Jones, the sophomore out of Omaha, the single back. And here he comes. Penalty flag, that may get wiped out. He's tiptoeing down the sidelines, and he's on the chalk at about the 37, 38-yard line. But there's a flag back upfield. Remember that. Incidentally, to add more to the travail of that first quarter for the Huskers, they had 407 offensive plays without a turnover before that. Well, I guess they've still got it, depending on what this turns out to be here. But can you imagine going through 407 plays coming into this ball game without a turnover, losing 19-10 at Iowa State,
and you have
coming here,
and you have a true freshman at quarterback.
True freshman at quarterback, and then coming here and having this happen to you. It's demoralizing. The last time Nebraska had a turnover was in September. Now they'll bring that play back because you saw the penalty goes against the Huskers.
Holding. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Oklahoma, on the other hand, has been utterly dominant, and save for their turnover, would be leading the ball game 6-0.
There's a different formation for Nebraska. 3 wide receivers, top of your screen.
They can't get out of the quicksand. Frazier on a little delay hands it off to Calvin Jones. And Jones is loose again. He is very elusive, and he's big at 210 pounds, and the sophomore has a first down for Nebraska up at the 34-yard line. 34-yard line, first down.
Right here. Watch him going up. Huge gaping hole inside. Just a little draw play.
Now they put going to that offset, what they call the offset eye, which gets more blocking in there and also gives you an extra receiver if you choose to go that way with it. And it picks up better part of 6 yards on the play. Prior to that play, Nebraska's total offense in the ball game had been 36 yards, and they also had 36 yards of penalty. And that comes off 0. 11:48 to go in the first half. Second down and 4. Good pursuit by Russell Allen, the junior from Oklahoma City. Number 95.
Play's going to work to the top of the screen. Allen, 95, just beats the block of Will Shields. Straight blocking. The play was probably designed to go inside. The back took it out, and that was right where Allen was.
So it is third down and 8 for Nebraska. Frazier gets it away. He's got a man wide open. Pass is caught by Corey Dixon. If the pass is lower, so Dixon doesn't have to commit himself to the jump and the fall, he scores. He's home free. There's nobody out there.
Schenkel, the defensive back on the outside, was being jammed. Look at the bottom of your screen. He starts back. Now he's getting jammed. He thinks it's a run. You can't do that, especially on third down. It's a passing situation. If that ball is better thrown, it's a touchdown.
Well, that's what Gary Gibbs is worrying about, the big play. Give the ball to Lance Lewis, the Husker fullback who doesn't get to carry it all that many times. But he is a true, typical Nebraska fullback. Just knock your head off.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Remember a fullback a few years back named Tom Rathman?
I see him every once in a while playing for the 49ers.
Didn't do much at Nebraska. Tough, hard-nosed fullback. Outstanding receiver for the 49ers.
Yep. This guy can catch it, too.
Yep.
Second down and 6. Frazier in some traffic. Pretty much along the line of scrimmage. May have lost the yard. That's very good coverage by Oklahoma.
You're exactly right. Outstanding coverage against the option.
Number 59 playing that nose guard position for the Sooners there is David Campbell, 6 foot, but he puts 281 pounds on that 6-foot frame. He's trying to run over a tombstone. Third down and 7. Up the middle. Calvin Jones. And he's short of the first down by about a yard. Now the ball is just inside the 30. It's going to be 4th and 1. They're going to go. So Lundberg, Malin, Scott, Shields, Rieger. They know what they're supposed to do. The offensive front for Nebraska. Oklahoma home crowd trying to get into it. Jones. And on the offensive line surge, and that's all there was to it. All he could do was run up, fall down, and lean on them. And it looks like he's got his first down.
Well, if you're a Cornhusker, you say 4th and less than a yard. We've led the nation in rushing 7 of the last 12 years. Come on, we'll make this easy. A big offensive line, maybe the best offensive line they've ever had here. They talk about this line with the same time they talk about the 83 line with Stein, Kuhler, and Dave Remington.
So it's first down at the 27-yard line of Oklahoma. Here comes Mr. Jones. And the Sooners take him down. And it's a good, sure tackle by number 46, Tremaine Green. At 8:15 to go in the first half. Nebraska leading 7-6, but Oklahoma has dominated play. This is the first time that the Nebraska offense has done anything in the game. They had 3 plays in the first quarter. Lewis is out at fullback. Extra wide man comes in, leaving Calvin Jones the single back. Sooners try to blitz and get picked up. And Frazier loses the ball. It rolls forward.
That was a shovel pass, Keith.
He was trying to make a shovel pass, but he didn't get much shovel on it.
Yeah, he slipped. He slipped as he was trying to shovel the ball forward. You mentioned earlier this turf has been around for like 15 or 16 years. Look as he slips as he tries to pitch it forward, and Jones, there's some space there for him to run if he would have got the ball to it.
Loss on the play, 3rd down and about 10 coming up.
You heard in our opening that Tom Osborne said these are not the passing situations he wants. 3rd and 10 is not their strength.
Jones the single back. Frazier gets it off. Ball thrown much too hard for Corey Dixon, who sold out. He gave himself up completely trying to reach the ball, but the youngster from Bradenton had too much zip on that ball.
Well, Frazier, the true freshman, did a nice move to get some time to throw the ball, but this is the first time he's ever come to Oklahoma. This is his first time on the road, and that's the problem when you have a true freshman. You never know how they're going to react. A little exciting. Now he does everything right. Just doesn't hit an open man that would have continued to drive.
This is a 44-yard field goal try for Byron Bennett. He's 0 for 2 from this distance. Low line drive, hits the crossbar, hits the upright, ricochets around, falls off the cobweb, no good. Never got any air under the ball at all. At 7.5 minutes to go in the first half, Nebraska still leads 7-6, but it is Nebraska that is the frustrated football team.
Riding fist bumps is not good for my lunch. Bouncing my...
Every hour, we select a Chevy Cavalier to take a memorable trip at the factory over a very sophisticated bumpy road. We call it the squeak and rattle track, and it's one man's job to test Cavaliers and find problems before they get to you. It's a rough job, but someone's got to do it. Surprised that Chevy has a road, a test, and a man like this? You shouldn't be. What else would you expect from the heartbeat of America?
I've been a college president and a college football coach. I've seen how football teaches leadership, discipline, and team spirit. The Promise of Tomorrow encourages the talented young people in college football to bring these qualities into the classroom by becoming teachers.
Hitachi is proud to sponsor the College Football Association. Hitachi's Promise of Tomorrow program gives teaching scholarships to all 67 CFA members.
The University of Oklahoma Energy Center is having a worldwide impact.
One university is taking the lead in the field of energy, in natural gas exploration, global temperature research, and high-energy physics.
The Energy Center truly represents an investment in America's future.
But at the University of Oklahoma, the most important natural resource we develop is the human mind.
There's your score, 7-6. There's the young man who just kicked that low field goal that hit both the crossbar and the upright before it fell away uselessly.
I was reading something in the paper about Purdue and Indiana last weekend, and Purdue kicked a winning field goal, and they had greased the goalpost in case after the game. He says it may have helped the ball get through.
Might have, yeah. Gundy rolls it out. He picks up a first down. Rolls for 11 yards before David Noonan gets him down. Gundy, by the way, is now over 4,000 yards in passing in his career at Oklahoma. 4,028, and now just added 11 yards to his running total.
And to follow that up, in 2.5 years or 24 starts, he has surpassed all of the passing records at Oklahoma, both in a career and in a season.
7:15 and counting in the first half, 7-6. Nebraska leads Oklahoma. Sooners have done everything except take the lead after that pass interception and touchdown run by Ed Stewart. Rashid, the fullback, has the ball. Stacked up by the Huskers. Mike Anderson, 48, principal tackler, along with number 73, David Noonan. At the end of today's game, we will choose the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team for the 22nd year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Help Donnie pay for the rug. Anything. Well, you know what those things cost now?
Ooh-wee. Gotta put grass back. Put the grass back in.
Second down. Rashid, much more determined run this time, and he's got 9 yards. It's 241 pounds. We saw him, what was it, Bob, 2 years ago against UCLA, right?
Yep.
Or USC? No, it was UCLA.
UCLA.
Yeah. They thought then he was going to be a terrific player, and he has been.
He had a serious knee injury in high school and has come back from that, obviously, and regained most of his speed. He's a good receiver, too. He had real good hands.
5:40 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 1 for Oklahoma. Ball at their own 48-yard line. Rashid and Brewer in the backfield. Big man. Midfield, first down. The offensive front, Harry Stamps has been in there quite a bit in the first half for Oklahoma. 295-pound freshman from Houston who also can play tight end. Normally plays that tight end position when they put 2 of them in the game. Joey Mickey has had 2 passes on his hands, both big play opportunities for him, and dropped both of them, so he's due. I looked at some tape of games earlier in the season, and he's a pretty good receiver in the games that I looked at.
So he caught 12 coming in.
So it's first down for the Sooners. This is Brewer. He's to the 40. Depends on the spot as to whether or not it is at first. It'll be close.
Behind the defense, Anderson, 48, gets blocked very well by Rashid, number 33. If you watch the blocking and not follow the ball, the biggest hole in the blocking is where the back will be, and the ball will be with him.
2nd down and a half a yard for the first down. Gundy hitches one to the sidelines to P.J. Mills. And Mills is now within 1 of tying the record of Jim Owen as a freshman receiver.
As a true freshman, Mills keeps it going. This is all Oklahoma. They don't need quick scores. They want to keep Nebraska off the field.
Mills is from Enid, incidentally. Ball is at the Cornhusker 29 now. Mills out. Warren back for Oklahoma. We got another freshman from Tulsa, Jawan Penny, pretty good receiver too. Running back, Rashid. Travis Hill, the hit for the Huskers. Pickup is about 3 yards. You don't really have to look a whole lot. All you have to do is follow the noise in this ball game. That big whoomp when the defensive player latches on to the offensive man. We're about 8 stories high here, and you can hear that one down to the end of the hall.
Sure.
2nd down and 7. Take it to Brewer. Gundy taking a lot of time. Has a lot of time. Now runs out of time. Delivers it to Rashid. And he'll get it down around the 25-yard line before Ernie Beeler, a junior from Plainfield, New Jersey. There have been a lot of folks from New Jersey come out and play football at the University of Nebraska, including one Mike Rozier. Third and 7. Still on the 26. "41st play by Oklahoma in the first half." Gundy's pass, sideline, incomplete. Diving try for the interception by Kenny Wilhite. It is incomplete, and 4th down coming up. Nebraska must win this game and the game against Kansas State to be played in Tokyo next Saturday in order to claim the Big 8 conference title and get the ticket to the Orange Bowl. If Nebraska loses either of the games, then the Colorado Buffaloes qualify to go to Miami. Oklahoma has 5 wins overall. They need 6 to qualify for a bowl bid. Scott Blanton with a 42-yard field goal try. A lot of air under it, and it is good. And the Oklahoma Sooners, who took the lead 3-0 in the first quarter and first possession on a Blanton field goal of 33, now take the lead on a 42-yarder.
Blanton has come through with 2 field goals, and they have 1 missed for Nebraska by Bennett. That's the difference in the ball game.
2:23 remaining in the first half. 9-7 the Sooners, and here is Jack.
Keith, look who we ran into on the sidelines here. You remember this guy, Steve Owens. He rewrote some of the record books here.
We got a quick meeting like this.
I know. You know. What's your most memorable moment in this rivalry when you were playing?
I think in 1968 when we played Nebraska here, beat them 47-0. I think Keith called the game. I scored 5 touchdowns, so that brings back great memories for me.
Having a good time today?
Always. I'm here for every game. I've never missed an OU game, so it's a great tradition.
Keith, he doesn't look too bad for a beat-up back, does he?
He was a star of the alumni game.
Thanks a lot.
I think you did every game in this series. They always talk about you being here.
No, Schenk was down here. Chris Schenkel and Bud Wilkinson did a lot of games here. Paul Chrisman was involved. Scott Blanton last year was 4 of 12 in field goals. This year he's 16 of 18, and he has knocked all of the kickoffs way back into the end zone. They haven't returned the kick at all today, either team. Well down. Old boys are going to get deep in the pockets, right? Bighorn Golf Club in Palm Desert, California, the Masters champion Fred Couples, Tom Kite, the Open champion, the Shark Greg Norman, and defending champion Payne Stewart lock up in the Skins game, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on ABC Sports. Oh, Fred's having a hard month. He's only won $585,000. Hey. First down for Nebraska. Frustrating half for the Huskers. Calvin Jones, who has been impressive since he came on behind Eric Brown, and he picks up about 9 yards on that carry.
Well, one of the keys to good defense and shutting down an offense is field position. And Nebraska has started all 4 of their possessions on their own 20-yard line. And that is critical if you want to have a good defense and force the other team to go a long way to score.
Well, the last time they had the ball, they put it down there where they were threatening, and Frazier couldn't hook up on 2 key passes. On 2nd and 1, Frazier keeps it, now delivers it. Delivered it late, and by that time the Sooner defense had flooded to the boundary, and Gerald Farley takes him down. There he is, number 18. Farley, 177-pounder from Groveton, Texas, taking on 210-pound Jones, turning the corner. You wouldn't want to make a living doing that.
Nope.
8 carries for Jones, 45 yards.
He's in there playing for, Farley is in there playing for Darnell Walker, who is a corner that has had an outstanding season, had a surgery on a finger, and is out of the game today, as are several other of the Oklahoma Sooners.
Timeouts remaining now. Nebraska with 2 and Oklahoma with 3. And while we're waiting for the clock to roll at 1:37 to go in the first half, let's again check in with Jack.
Well, Keith, you guys were talking about the wee backs. Well, this isn't the first time there's been wee backs at Nebraska. Remember Mike Rozier and Roger Craig back in 1982? They were what many thought were the first wee backs. But now we've got Brown and Jones, and they are the wee backs of the 90s. But what's more important, Keith, is the fact that they could very well become the first players in Nebraska history to both rush for over 1,000 yards.
That's quite something, I'll tell you. Quite something. The wee backs, in case you don't understand that, the deep man in the Nebraska formation,
all right,
is called an I-back. And they got 2 I-backs that play about the same amount of time. And as a result, they agreed that they admit, in fact, they went to the coaches and said, there's no ego problem here. Let's call ourselves the wee backs. And that's how it came about.
Yep. They're not doing too well yet today, though.
He ain't over. 32. Frazier, straight back, lets it go downfield. In pursuit of it is Corey Dixon. And Dixon frustrated that he couldn't track it down. Running right down the sidelines on the fly with Farley.
Play action, Tommy Frazier. Good fake. Osborne calling all of the plays. This is one-on-one. Look at this arm on this young man. Had his man beat, just threw it a little bit to the outside. That could have been a completion.
Second down and 10. Frazier's 1 out of 5 in the ball game. Up the middle goes Calvin Jones, and that's a first down. Just over the 45-yard line, and the Husker offensive front opened the hole that time. Time is against them right now at 1:24.
Going without a huddle.
Yep. Well, and they're not either. They got all screwed up. They had to go back into a huddle and
it's like a puddle. Then they went back and they puddled. They didn't go into a full huddle, just into a puddle.
Oh, me. 46, Frazier. Little shovel pass into the middle for Jones. He's trying to make his cut. And as he cut in front of Farley, Farley made the tackle. Pretty hard to really get a good solid plant. Here are the injured people in the Oklahoma.
Mike Coates injured last week. He is the leading tackler on the team, and Walker is the leading interceptor.
Jones over the left side, getting in behind Lundberg and Malin. Lundberg is a junior at 300 pounds. Malin's a junior, 265. Will Shields is the senior graduating, but Zach Wiegert at 310 is only a sophomore in that offensive front. Nebraska spends the timeout. They've got 1 remaining, and you've got 57 seconds remaining on the first half clock.
State Farm sells life insurance, and when we start you out with a life insurance plan, our job is just beginning. You see, we're there after you buy the policy, keeping in touch as your life changes, listening, explaining, answering your questions, helping you keep your life insurance plan up to date as your needs change. State Farm agents are there to start you right, and we're there to keep things right for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Hello?
Radio Shack for telephones.
Phones for celebration.
Lengthy conversations. Tough negotiations.
Radio Shack for telephones.
Phones with flashing ringers.
Phones for little fingers.
Radio Shack for telephones.
Phones on the go. For people you know.
With so much style, they bring a smile.
Radio Shack for telephones. Over 200 telephone products to choose from. Make Radio Shack your Christmas electronics store.
Our team project was tough. The deadline was tougher.
Only one digital color printer prints in black and white and color at the same time to save time. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
Our spring fashions are terrific. Now let's get them noticed.
Highlight your news with Xerox color and you'll get everyone's attention faster. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
57 seconds to play in the first half. 9-7 Oklahoma leads. Nebraska's ball, second down and 6. The ball is resting at the 39-yard line of Oklahoma. Frazier lets it go down the middle. The pass is caught at the 25-yard line by Vincent Hawkins. First time Hawkins has seen the ball today. And now they will go with no huddle. Frazier putting them together, putting them in play.
Tommy Frazier really not on target with that throw. There was a lot of room to run if he'd had that ball up a little bit.
Go to Jones. Well, it took almost as long to call the play, get everybody involved in it, as it does to huddle.
Well, again, remember, this is a true freshman trying to run a no-huddle, quick offense in a 2-minute situation. And they're not a passing team.
Second down. Gets it off down the middle. Pass is caught. Abdul Muhammad. And now they say no, incomplete. Muhammad, a sophomore from Compton, California, and did not come up with it as number 5 put the hit on him. That's Malin Wesley.
From the left side of your screen, nice throw off balance. And that throw was not Frazier's fault, and I don't know if he had it long enough to make a completion.
Pretty close, wasn't it?
Usually you have to come down with at least 1 or 2 feet on the ground before it's a completion, and he did not.
Third down and 8. Frazier going out of bounds short of the marker. He's about a yard and a half short of the first down marker. So it'll be 4th down for Nebraska with 11 seconds remaining. And they got a chance to come out with a field goal unit here and regain the lead. Oklahoma has the lead right now, 9-7. And Byron Bennett has a chance to put the Huskers back on top. So the Nebraska offense now here in the late going of the first half beginning to show some signs of life. Byron Bennett, 33-yard try. And Oklahoma takes the timeout. Sooners have 2 remaining, though they don't figure to spend them. They're just going to try to put a little chill on Byron Bennett here, but he's a junior. I don't think they're going to shake him up. Coming up at halftime, Prudential halftime, we'll take a look at some of the history between these two teams. We'll take a look at the Pride of Oklahoma marching band on this holiday weekend. And we'll have a preview of tomorrow's showdown between the Florida Gators and the Seminoles of Florida State. What Bobby Bowden say yesterday that 80% of the players on both those teams are Floridians.
I think that's a little high.
Well,
I think the point he was making is there's a high percentage, and they all know each other. Some of them played against each other and even went to school together. And his point was that'll get them going right there.
There's a good number of boys from South Georgia on that Florida State team.
Yeah. Well, Tom Osborne and his Cornhuskers are come in as the second leading scoring offense in the nation. And so far in the first half, they have not scored a touchdown. Only 1 field goal. No, just a touchdown. Excuse me.
Bennett now with a 33-yarder. Stiggy holds it. And Bennett gets it up and good. And with 6 seconds remaining, the Huskers go back to the lead over the Sooners, 10-9.
Well, that's the first 3 points of the first half for Nebraska offensively. The other touchdown that they've gotten was compliments of their defense and Ed Stewart on that interception return for the touch.
Not quite a full house at Owen Field today, but I have never seen a better day for a college football game in this part of the country this time of the year. Astounding. Yesterday it was about 30. day, it may even get as high as 50.
I think that works in favor of the home team, too, Keith, because Oklahoma is a team that likes to throw the ball more than Nebraska. Eleven plays, 63 yards. Didn't take very long for Bennett to do his number.
Well, the last two possessions were aggressive offensive efforts, and each one of them killed off by a little too much vigor in a couple of Tommy Frazier's passes. Bennett rolls it along the ground, and it is wisely covered by Robert O'Neill for Oklahoma, and it'll be first down for the Sooners back inside their 30 when they put the ball in play and the referee winds it. There'll be 5 ticks remaining on the clock. You know, there was a time when there were hardly any trees at all around here when they started building the University of Oklahoma. And the first president, David Ross Boyd, was the one who got all of these trees that you see around here planted. And it has really grown up, and it's quite a striking campus. This should be the last play of the first half unless there is a defensive penalty. There is none. The half is over. The Nebraska Cornhuskers 10. The Oklahoma Sooners 9. Prudential halftime report coming up.
CFA College Football, this ABC Sports exclusive, brought to you by Geo, inviting you to get to know the newest Geo Prism, only at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by Hitachi. Hitachi makes over 20,000 innovative products. We'll return with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Hitachi. They make, Oh, great shot. Now, what was I saying?
Hitachi makes camcorders and 20,000 other products worth celebrating. Hitachi.
Hitachi? They make, actually, I'm kind of busy right now working on a big project.
Hitachi makes computer systems and 20,000 other intelligent products. Hitachi.
The available anti-lock brakes on the new Geo Prism can help you negotiate driving hazards during hard braking. And every new Prism comes with a driver's side airbag, which we'd also be happy to demonstrate. But you've seen all that before. Besides, why ruin such a beautiful car? Get to know the newest Geo Prism, at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Personnel, please. 7th floor.
Now, when life turns up the heat, there's Degree antiperspirant. Because it's body heat activated, Degree turns on extra protection when you really need it. Degree, your body heat turns it on.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Out here, if you don't have a Die-Hard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die-Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most.
Come on, Roseanne, can't I have my own TV show?
No.
Please? I'll take acting lessons and I'll look real professional and stuff.
No.
I won't make you watch any more of my HBO specials.
No.
I'll quit hanging around down at your show.
Okay.
Tom Arnold stars in the Jackie Thomas Show, premiering Tuesday after Roseanne.
Thanks, Rosie. Hey, can I be in your next movie?
No.
Colorado snow season is just around the corner, and Shortline has the best selection of front-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles in Colorado. Combine Shortline's 5th anniversary savings with factory incentives for an unbeatable combination. Colorado's legendary snow car, the four-wheel drive Subaru, is on sale now with hundreds to choose from. Suzuki's four-door Sidekick, the lowest-priced sport utility in the U.S., will make cruising in the snow easier than ever, and the full line of front-wheel drive Hyundais are easy on your eyes and pocketbook. So get ready for winter at Shortline, 580 South Havana, Aurora.
America's first choice. Napa Auto Parts.
At Napa, you'll always find top quality parts at a fair price. Plus, great holiday gift ideas for under $20. Like Napa's toy truck, with real truck sounds, just $19.95. Black & Decker's Carback Plus, only $19.95. And Napa's 3-amp battery charger, just $4.95 after rebate. Save on great gifts for under $20. At Napa, America's first choice.
The Broncos hammer the Seahawks Monday night on Channel 9.
The Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. When it comes to insurance, real estate, and investments, there is one certainty: the financial strength of the Rock. The Prudential, rock solid.
Halftime at Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma, the game between the Huskers and the Sooners. And let's begin our halftime entertainment with Jackaroot and this special feature.
As much as some things change, others remain constant. In college football, one such constant is the Nebraska-Oklahoma game.
The two best of the Big Eight always play this game. If they don't get excited about playing Nebraska and Oklahoma, they shouldn't be on the field.
1937 saw a world where swing was popular. The tunes from America's dance halls had a toe-tapping beat. In Lincoln, Nebraska, though, the beat meant beat Oklahoma on the football field. The Sooners came to the dance with one goal. No need for presidential inspiration. To a man, Oklahoma wanted to defeat their former coach.
Biff Jones was the football coach at Nebraska. He had coached the previous year at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's captain, Gene Carrata, remembers that day against Paul Amon.
I can remember seeing him come down the field. Pretty good. Got him that day because it was kind of muddy. He couldn't get out of my way. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was really bad.
It was just a mud field. And that's one reason I think the game ended as it did, 0-0.
While Americans were exploring new frontiers, football fans were treated to the game of the century.
Johnny Rogers, look at the moves by that sensational player.
I wanted a punt return in that game probably more than I wanted in any game because I knew that was the biggest game that I was going to actually be playing.
And 1971 was for the national championship in Norman, Oklahoma. Nebraska undefeated, ranked 1, Oklahoma number 2.
First and 10 with the clock running, and there is a touchdown, Oklahoma.
Play for play, drive for drive, the two teams traded scores.
We knew this next drive, we couldn't make a mistake on it. We had to control the ball till we got it in the end zone.
The heart and the legs of Jeff Kinney carried Nebraska to the goal line and the eventual victory.
I think this game has been picked more than any other game that I have ever heard of as being the game of the century.
These are the days of miracle and wonder. This is the long distance call. The way the camera follows us in slow-mo. The way we look to us all.
15 years later, and the battle between Nebraska and Oklahoma was poised to write a new chapter in the rivalry. Steve Taylor's touchdown pass gave Nebraska a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. But Jamale Holloway and Keith Jackson brought Oklahoma back. Like so many times before, victory would hinge on a late-game drive.
Now throws sideline intended for Jackson. He caught it to the 20, 25, 20, to the 15-yard line. He's out of bounds with 9 seconds to play.
The final play and the cheers were reserved for the game-winning field goal by Tim Lasher.
Until you get down there in that field and you see the red on both sides in the stadium, it's the red that comes out of your eyes when you want to hit somebody on the side of the field. That's the intensity that you can never match again. You just have to cherish that moment.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The
financial strength of the Prudential, rock solid in securities, insurance, and real estate.
The Big 8 Conference, a tradition growing stronger.
In a world of constant change, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the Prudential, rock solid in securities, insurance, and real estate.
10-9, Nebraska leads Oklahoma at halftime, and now let's enjoy the pride of Oklahoma marching band, Gene Thrailkill directing. The music, Mighty Fortress. That's the correct time right there, indeed, at Norman. We'll be back.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the Prudential, rock solid in securities, insurance, and real estate.
As a member of the NCAA Committee on Infractions, I represent the membership to ensure that all colleges and universities play by the same rules. The schools and colleges of the NCAA have made it clear they want appropriate penalties for those who choose not to follow the rules. That's why the Committee on Infractions was formed. The members want safe and fair competition for everyone.
This message provided by the NCAA.
We've got another one of those old intrastate battles coming up for you tomorrow here on ABC Sports. Let's join Brett Musburger for this.
Thank you, Keith. Dick Vermeil, it seems unbelievable to me that Florida State is a 16-point favorite over Florida. Yeah. Steve Spurrier has been improving these Gators the last month.
He's done a great job of coaching in the past, but this, I think, is his best year. It was a young football team that needed help. Shane Matthews, their quarterback, is now being given the time it takes to get the ball to his skilled receivers. I don't see it being a 16-point margin.
One of the more dangerous quarterbacks in the land. And you know, Dick, it seemed unthinkable back in October after that heartbreaking loss to Miami that you could mention national championship and Florida State in the same sentence. Yet, folks, they've got a chance. It's the title that has eluded Bobby Bowden all these many years. And his quarterback, Charlie Ward, is getting better.
Well, he has really improved. You know, he's responsible for more touchdown passes and running touchdowns than any other player in college football. Very productive. He certainly can direct a national championship football team.
Note the start time. High noon tomorrow, 9 a.m. out west. Florida and Florida State. Now let's send you back to Keith Jackson.
That'll be kind of interesting game. Tough for Florida to have to play Florida State, you know, and then go play Alabama in the SEC championship the following weekend. But then what are you going to do? I tell you what, we're talking about what nice weather it is, and it's going to be almost 50 degrees. It ain't 50 in the shade. The Huskies, we've heard a lot about them in recent years. Going back into the early 70s, there was one down in Columbia, Missouri called the Boomerooski, where the Nebraska quarterback put it between his legs and got away with a 38-yard free touchdown. Well, the Fumble-Rooski happened right here in 1979 in a game that we covered here on ABC Sports. And he wound up with a big old guard, Randy Schleusner, who became an All-American in 1980. Now watch, the ball is going to be laid on the ground by the quarterback. See, Schleusner will slide in there underneath while they're carrying out the fake, pick it up and go lumbering around the corner and dive into the end zone. I mean, a graceful dive into the end zone. Well, they tried this the other day in a ball game that they had in hand with Will Shields. Will's 306 pounds, and he got a hold of that ball, and it was like holding on to a live hog.
Why do they always give it to the biggest guy, though? I mean, put in that small guard that, you know, never gets to play.
Yeah, the nimble-footed
fella.
Yeah,
can run.
Fun, though, because this is that guy that everybody else around the country seems to say is so conservative, never does anything daring, but Tom Osborne...
He's sneaky. He's sneaky.
All right, let's talk about this first half. Total frustration in the first quarter for the Cornhuskers.
The offenses on either side have not scored a touchdown. The only touchdown was on the interception, and we'll see that right here. Everything was going well for Oklahoma. They had done well on their first drive. Drop back to pass. Right of your screen, that's Stewart, the linebacker, number 32, steps in and runs it in for the score. But Nebraska has come in averaging 334 yards a game rushing on the ground. In the first half, they only have 87 yards. And Oklahoma has time of possession. It's 2-1 in favor of Oklahoma. And this is exactly what the Sooners want to do. Keep the ball away from the Nebraska offense and don't let them run up any yardage on the ground.
Well, the teams now are getting ready to reappear for the second half, and I'm sure that Oklahoma's confidence must be pretty high. But I thought Nebraska was starting to move the ball with some confidence.
Starting to roll a little bit, but when you only have 4 possessions and you have 13 fewer plays than the other team, like Nebraska has had, that's not the way Nebraska wants it. Everything's going well for Oklahoma. They just need to get some touchdowns on the board and not field goals.
Jack Arute has been listening in the locker rooms. Let's join him now.
Well, Keith, in the Oklahoma locker room behind me, they're just finishing their halftime meetings, and there's a quiet sort of confidence with the entire team and the coaching staff. For Coach Gary Gibbs, it's about exactly the way he had hoped it would go. The most important thing, the biggest concern that he has right now is not being able to convert into a touchdown, having to go for the field goal. Conversely, I talked to Coach Tom Osborne from the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and he said he was extremely concerned about the amount of time that they are spending on defense. I asked him if he was going to make any changes at this half. He said look for some additional dime packages on their defensive posture in the second half. Gentlemen?
All right, Jack, thanks very much. It's Nebraska 10, Oklahoma 9. Huskers are back, Sooners are coming, and we'll be back with the second half in a moment.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by Prudential. When it comes to insurance, real estate, and investments, there is one certainty: the financial strength of the Rock. The Prudential, rock solid.
Norelco doesn't just shave close, but incredibly close. Or merely shave in comfort, but exceptional comfort. Because inside Norelco's floating heads, our lift and cut system lifts the hair so when it's cut, it can drop below skin level without the blades touching your face. And once you've shaved that close and comfortable, you know you'll always be comfortable shaving with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
Yeah? Yes, I got to get to my show.
Let's go.
Stetson cologne, easy to wear, hard to resist. Where's that great smelling guy who got me here tonight? I've got a front row seat here just for you.
4,573 real NFL plays of real NFL teams are now available in your living room.
Presenting the new Civic Del Sol from Honda. It's a sporty open-top car with a very remarkable feature. When it's windy outside, it's not so windy inside.
Visa salutes American Olympic champions. In 1984, American Bart Connor stunned the world with a fantastic performance on the parallel bars at the Los Angeles Games.
Watch the positions. That's what you want to see here. Right to the handstand position each time. And watch this nailed landing. There's your 10.
As part of their continued support of amateur athletics, Visa today is proud to donate another $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team to support future Olympic hopefuls in their quest for the gold.
Just a hoot and a holler from Nashville's Grand Ole Opry is another place that's home to musicians from all over the world. It's Groon Guitars, where they sell rare and vintage instruments to everyone from Johnny Cash to Motley Crue. So if you go, remember, bring your pick and your Visa card. Because at Groon, you can take your licks on a 1939 Martin, but you can't take it home with American Express.
Yeah.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
CFA College Football, this ABC Sports exclusive. Brought to you by Honda, celebrating its 10th anniversary of automobile production in the United States. And by Heineken, just being the best is enough.
That's Gary Gibbs right there talking to his quarterback, Cale Gundy. They are down by a point, even though they were dominant offensively in the first half of play. That 50-yard pass run interception by Ed Stewart, the biggest of the plays in the first half. Nebraska gets the ball to start the second half with Scott Blanton, who kicked 3 field goals for Oklahoma to lead for a while, 9-7. He kicks off. There's been no kickoffs returned in this game, but they got a shot at this one from the goal line. Tyrone Hughes. Oh, he had a hole at the 25, and then they finally closed it down on him and got him at the 36. If he could have gotten to the sidelines, he would still be running.
All the way out to the 36.
Special teams of Nebraska coming out the second half. A big emotional lift coming out after the second half, the halftime talk coming out in the second half and getting some things done. Good field position.
Derek Brown opens this second half of play at the I-back position. And he gets the ball. And he got a block on the corner. Dandy block over there by Lance Lundberg. And he took down Brian Gorka, number 48 in red. Gorka had him in his sights. And big old Lance just nailed him. So there's a pickup of at least 5 yards. It would they're going to mark it down at exactly on the 40, make it second down and 6. This possession now is starting at the 36 for the Huskers. That's far and away their best starting point for a possession. Carrying the ball is Lance Lewis, the fullback, and he slashes over the right side behind Shields and Scott and gets the first down. And here are the halftime numbers.
Here are the first half numbers. Take a look. Yards rushing for Nebraska. Left-hand column, 87 yards. They're used to having 334 a game. The bottom line, time of possession, only 10:55 to 19:05 for Oklahoma. That's almost 2-1. Of course, the one turnover by Oklahoma turned into 7 points for Nebraska.
Put it on the 47 and call it first down for the Cornhuskers. Frazier hands it off inside. It's Lewis, the fullback. And suddenly he gets back-to-back carries, and Oklahoma says, wait a minute, where did he go? He went down to the 35-yard line. That's where he went. First down, Nebraska.
Well, you worry so much about the wee-backs, the Brown and the Jones, that you sometimes forget about the fullback. He has had some big runs this year for Nebraska.
Call it the 36-yard line. This time you go to the deep man. That's Derek Brown, and Brian will take it to the 29 or thereabouts. So they're getting good yardage off first down starting the second half. They had the initial snap of the ball at the 36. And they moved it now inside the Oklahoma 30. 10-9, Nebraska. But as Bob said, their offense only produced a field goal in the first half. Now you go to that offset eye. Lewis. That's about 3. So they'll be looking at third and short. Lance Lewis, 225-pound senior, comes from Scott City, Kansas. I don't know, but for some reason, all the fullbacks at Nebraska, including Tom Rathman and even before Tom, all look like they got their necks moved.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of blocking. They wear that big ring, the collar ring around their neck.
Third down and 2. This is Brown. That's close. Looks like it from here. Looks like a first down. It is.
It's just straight ahead blocking by the left side of that line. That's Lundberg and Malin and Scott. You know, the strength of this Nebraska team, and if you look at them defensively, if you're defense and trying to stop them, the offensive line jumps out at you, and then they throw the 2 I-backs at you. Then they've got this quarterback, Frazier, who can run the option. A lot of buttons to push for Coach Tom Osborne, and he does call the plays.
First down from the 25. That's Derek Brown in motion. They go the other way with Frazier.
3 guys open.
Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. Gerald Armstrong.
Armstrong has caught 8 passes on the year, and 7 of them have been for touchdowns. When you get inside the 30, 35-yard line, left side of your screen, run out of it now. Anytime you get inside there, I'd have 2 men on this young man, Armstrong.
Mike Fedrell was over there, too. Almost gotten away. Byron Bennett is in for the point. He slipped it in the left side. 12:02 to go in the third quarter, and the Cornhuskers now go to a 17-9 lead.
Every now and then, people come across something so well thought out, so timeless, it becomes a classic. Which may explain why the Honda Accord has been the best-selling car in America for the past 3 years.
In Europe, things happen on time, right on schedule. Punctuality is the norm, and that makes Europe the ideal environment for UPS. Fact is, UPS has built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So when you have a shipment going there that has to be on time, use the delivery company whose punctuality is a time-honored tradition. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
Did you tell your boss you're quitting?
No, I'm telling him on Monday.
Got any plans yet?
Few.
No celebrity spokesman.
I'm opening a restaurant.
No beach volleyball games.
How about another Heineken?
No lengthy description of the brewing process. None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
You got that steady paycheck?
Oh, yeah. I got a few bucks put away.
So you want to own a restaurant?
No, what I really want to do is be a relief pitcher.
Longtime rivals collide. The 5th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame head west for a primetime war with the Trojans of USC Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Gerald Armstrong. Catch 8 passes for 7 touchdowns. Ain't bad, huh?
That's Washington on the right there with the glasses on. The starting tight end who's had a bad foot and has not played a whole lot. 260 pounds, so they don't throw the ball to him a lot. They throw it to Armstrong.
Byron Bennett. Kick it off. And Brewer with Thompson back there. Brewer 23, Thompson 45. Nobody could return a kick in the first half. Here in the second half, both of them are being returned. This is Thompson. Boy, he's a high stepper, isn't he? Just a freshman.
Here's a look at what Oklahoma did in the first half. They had it 5 times. They had a field goal on their first, third, and last possession. Of course, that interception on their second possession turned into 7 points for Nebraska.
They will start with this snap of the ball and this possession, the first one of the third quarter, at their 35. Just a yard short of where Nebraska started from a few minutes ago.
It's a key possession for Oklahoma, too, Keith. After Nebraska came out and went down and scored, they got to do something with it.
Gundy keeps it after the play action and lets it go to the sidelines. And it is incomplete. And Corey Warren is asking some serious questions about that fella that fell across the back of his legs.
I think he may have a little bit of a complaint.
Kitty Wilhite was the man. But the pass is incomplete, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Outside the pocket gives you more time. No, that's all right. Well, if you'd called there, it would have been more wrong than if you didn't call.
Yep.
Well, that was a good call.
Rashid, the single back, he's got the ball. And he picks up a good 5 yards as he lunges over the 40 with Ed Stewart making the tackle. Stewart is playing inside now, what is called the weak side linebacker, and he weighs 205 pounds. Sort of reminds you of Webb, who plays defensive tackle for Southern California, 225 pounds. But you're seeing that more and more. Speed, quickness, athletic ability.
That's exactly right. Able to run. They talk about these guys can run.
3rd down and 5. Almost had a nap while we were waiting for the snap. That's going to be a little bit short of the first down, it would appear. So they'll be looking at 4th down and probably less than a yard, maybe a foot on their side of midfield. Just depends on the spot. I don't know that I can recall, Bob, when these two teams didn't have people who could run, though, because they have been among the hierarchy of college football for so long. Gundy trying to get it.
Gundy's trying to sell something. That usually means that you don't have it.
That's right.
And it doesn't have it. Here's a big decision here.
When Nebraska's making its defensive substitutions, looks like the Sooners are going to go.
Yep.
Unless they have a quick kick tucked away somewhere.
Yes, a big play here. If they don't make it, Nebraska's got outstanding field position.
Well, they've got their big people in there. There it is. Give it to the big guy, Rashid, and he just
Too much history.
Over the top.
Too much history in that situation. 4th and 1, Oklahoma not being able to pick up an inch.
Yep.
And Gibbs has been around here.
They'd make them sleep outdoors tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it's first down for the Sooners on the 2-yard pickup by Rashid. Ball rests at their own 47-yard line. They trail Nebraska by 8 points, 17-9 at 10:40 to go in the third quarter. Dundee to throw. Gets it off. Got a man on a fly down the sideline. They get tangled up. Penalty flag thrown. It's going to be interference. John Reese defending on Albert Hall. College football, it's a 15-yard penalty and first down.
Bottom right. Receiver trying to come back for the ball. No, that's not you don't call that. You got to let these kids play. Just because somebody falls down, you don't throw a flag.
I don't know. They haven't called it the other way. Let's see here. No, it's 15 yards, and it's against Nebraska. Here's Steve Yusuf.
Pass interference, defense, first down.
All right, now you had a lot of time at both sides of the spectrum in football. Which do you like the best? This penalty, the 15 yards, the first down, or the way the pros do it?
I like the way the pros do it, and I'll get to it in a minute after this play.
First down for Oklahoma. Ball is at the 38 of Nebraska. Into the middle, it's Rashid carrying the ball. Picks up maybe 2. Go ahead.
In this instance, I like the college because it brings it back. It really wasn't a foul, but overall, I like the pro rule because the defensive backs, if they knew that all they were going to get is a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, there'd be a lot more fouls downfield saying, well, you know, if the guy beats me or if he's about to catch it, I'm going to interfere, because the worst it's going to be is 15 yards from the original spot and not 40 or 50 or 60 yards downfield where the interference may have taken place.
And there you have it from the man who's been there. Second down and 8. Dundee. Got a block. He got a very good block from Joey Mickey over there to keep him from being beheaded, and he made something out of the play.
He finally found Joey Mickey, and Mickey said, if you get over here, I'll throw a block for you. Mickey is 274 pounds at tight end, and Gundy kept going sideways until he found him. Play action pass, little penetration. Gundy with some ability, right side of your screen, right there.
Yeah, Tyrone Bird was loading up. Mickey stopped it. First down, the ball is just inside the 20 now of Nebraska in Oklahoma possession. Gundy gives it to his deep back Brewer, and well, Brewer will get very little out of it. Ed Stewart was right there. Fact, he isn't going to get anything. He's going to lose 2 yards. Ball wound up on the 22. Make it second down and 12. P.J. Mills comes way down to the bottom of the picture. Gundy lets it go. Had a man. Couldn't put it on his numbers. Threw that ball to Albert Hall, and Albert had a half a step on Reese, and if the ball is thrown tight to him, he makes the catch. But it led him a little too much.
And Hall knows it, too. He says, I had you beat. I knew it. You know I had you beat. Ball wasn't there.
I haven't seen any side of a lot of talking, but you know there's some going on.
Oh, yeah. Always. Especially amongst the defensive backs and the wide receivers.
Yeah. Third down and 12. That's intercepted into the end zone by Kenny Wilhite. The pass was intended for Corey Warren.
Warren, number 2, is Gundy's favorite receiver. Tries to run a fade outside of Wilhite, but Wilhite won't let him outside. Wilhite makes a good interception of his momentum, carries him into the end zone, and so it should be a touchback, but they're marking it on the 1-yard line. That's the momentum rule.
Well, I think Kenny realized that he was in the end zone, in the grass, so instead of continuing to fight, he fell down and laid down, thinking he was going to get spot back to the 20. They don't give it to him. That's the second interception of the ball game on Gundy and the 15th of the season, and Derek Brown on a carry from the 1 will get it out to the 3.
Let's take a look at this as far as where to spot the ball. Wilhite sees it coming, number 19. He makes the interception, and his momentum carries him into the end zone. You're protected if you're a defensive back intercepting a ball inside the 5-yard line. That's Wilhite's 3rd interception on the year. He's got 1 that he ran back for a touchdown.
2nd down and 8. With McDuffie now at fullback, Brown behind him. Brown gets the carry to the 5 and close to the 6. And now let's check in with Jack.
Keith, at halftime we told you about some of the great rivalries where this gentleman, Jamal Holloway, was involved with one back in Lincoln, Nebraska. How reminiscent is this game to that game?
It's a big reminiscent because the game is going back and forth and back, but OU will prevail at the end.
Now, you and Keith Jackson, you really rewrote the history books that day. Do you remember that well?
Yes, I do. Well, it was a 20-17, I believe, and it was about a minute to go in the game, and we came back and we won, and that's the best thing. But I would like to say hello to Anna Maria Smith.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. Jamel. Out of the end zone. That's good. First down to Derek Brown.
Keith Jackson was Jamel referring to?
The nimble one.
Tom Osborne showing some confidence in his young quarterback and allowing him to throw out of his own end zone. Tommy Frazier is making his 5th start of the year. And Osborne has said this kid has just played way above the potential that they thought he would be this year.
First down out on the 14-yard line. Couple of whacks in there, aren't they? Oh, Derek Brown stuck his head in the pile, and it was like blacksmith shop falling on it. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
So look at Nebraska in the nation. They lead the nation in rushing offense. They're 2nd in scoring, and 100th out of 105 teams in passing the football.
Lance Lewis checks back in at fullback. Frazier keeps it. And we'll take it up to the 24-yard line. That's close to a first down. Aubrey Beavers, number 56. Beavers, a 232-pound junior out of Houston, Texas, has been quiet today.
Haven't heard a lot of him today. He came in leading the Big 8 in sacks with 12. He's got a fumble and an interception and returned them both for touchdowns. So he's been very active this year.
Third down and a half a yard. And Derek Brown has it and more out to the 30. So now the Huskers starting their possession off the interception by Wilhite at the 1. On it, first down out at the 30.
The good thing for Tom Osborne taking over at your own 1-yard line is that there's a lot of yardage and a lot of time you can take off the clock by just taking it down the field and wearing the other team down, gaining time of possession, just taking over control of the game.
That's 3 yards on that carry. Lewis, the fullback, he has more carries in this game than the norm. And we're coming up on 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter of play. So they're pounding the ball here. Oklahoma, if Nebraska gets that thing in the end zone again. on a 99-yard march. Boy, they're going to need some pumping up.
Yeah. This is a key drive, a key series right here, both for Nebraska offensively, but Oklahoma needs to stop them. Stay in the ball game.
I don't know. I get so absorbed in watching these big people, but that Zach Wiegert, the sophomore, 310 pounds, hit Brian Gorka, the 220-pound sophomore linebacker for Oklahoma, and it was a sight. I mean, Gorka got up. He's feisty as a bulldog about things, but watch this.
72 is Wiegert. He's hitting Gorka right there. I mean, Wiegert, 310 pounds. He's a tackle with good feet.
Good tackle right there by number 59, David Campbell, on Derek Brown. So, Campbell answers for the Sooners. So, there's some pretty good licks being laid down in the trenches today, as you would expect it between these two teams. In for the punt now comes Mike Stiggy. He's had two today, 151 yards and 120. And this is Dwell Brewer, who will be waiting for it, looking up into the sun. Better hurry. Whoa, some heat on that one. And Brewer loses the ball. He had to lose it in the sun. He ran right to it, didn't know where it was. Now you get a roll down to the 5-yard line. 62 yards on the punt. John Anderson almost blocked it.
Presenting the 190 horsepower Prelude VTEC. From Honda.
In a world of constant change, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the rock. The Prudential Rock Solid.
Told Nike how we could design a communications network to actually help them run better, do you know what they told us?
Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, a Rob Reiner film, A Few Good Men, rated R, at theaters December 11th.
So that's what it looks like from the front.
All right, let's see if these Sooners can do something like that, huh? Steve Collins, number 10, patiently waits on the sidelines. When Cale Gundy came on the field, there were some boos. Ball is at the 7 where they put it down. First down for the Sooners at their own 7, with Nebraska leading by 8 points, 17-9. And they run it over the left side with Rashid. And there you boos. Hear them?
Gundy is 8 of 17, 93 yards and 2 interceptions. The latest one on that last drive that was in the end zone. He was injured a couple of games in the middle of the season, missed 2 games, and Steve Collins came in. They won both games. He ran the option a lot in one of the games.
They were not playing Nebraska.
No, they were not.
Gundy lets it go, might be picked off. It is. I'm not sure he had possession. No good. No interception. No interception. Will Hyde again. Boy, he's been tough today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. But that was not the quarterback's fault. That was not Gundy's fault. This was a wide receiver's fault for not running the corner off. Watch the route and watch Will Hyde. He reads this. Look at it. The ball is thrown on time and where it should have been. The receiver, who is Mills, who is a true freshman, hasn't been around here very long, just set up his quarterback. They're booing the quarterback when Mills, the wide receiver, didn't do his job on the corner.
Rashid, the single back. Gundy in the end zone. Taken down, safety by Travis Hill, number 93 of Nebraska. 19-9.
This is the quarterback's fault right here. Take a look, the left side of your screen, number 93. This is a screen pass. A screen pass. A dangerous call on your own 3 or 4 yard line. You just can't do this because of exactly what happened. If your screen man's covered, nobody to throw to.
Our instructions had an error, and 1,000 orders were due Friday.
With the speed of a Xerox digital color copier, you'll get this order on the road again. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
We'd like color in our copies, but what small business can afford it?
With Xerox Highlight Color, concerns about the cost of color disappear with just a touch. Intelligent color for any document, only from Xerox.
Putting it together.
A driver's side airbag, a moonroof, a rear spoiler, anti-lock brakes, a Bose music system, and leather interior. Now who's the fairest of them all?
Hitachi?
Wait, I know. Name Nick.
Look, your favorite show.
Oh.
Hitachi makes big screen TVs and $20,000 entertaining products. Hitachi.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Out here, if you don't have a Die-Hard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die-Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most.
As a look at that last play, you're inside your 10-yard line. It looks like a screen because there's so many free defensive linemen, but there's nobody open to throw to. Now, the quarterback needs to know that if you get in that situation in your own end zone and you're passing the ball, you never want to take a sack. Throw the ball somewhere.
All right, now the Sooners have to get rid of it after the safety. Riddell punts it. Pretty good one, all the way down to the 20, 40 yards. This is Tyrone Hughes from New Orleans, and he brings it back to the 42. And here's Jack.
Keith, earlier you were talking about Tyrone Hughes becoming the first player in Nebraska history since 1966 to go both ways. He did it in the Missouri and Colorado game. Well, he's been a toughie ever since he was a little kid. He used to play sandlot football with his father and his brothers. And one day he went in a pass pattern, and he ran smack into a wall and said, "I'm okay, throw me the ball."
Yeah, everybody in that family's got their college degrees, too. That's why he's hustling. He had a great line. I'll tell you what he is in a minute. This is Frazier handing the ball. He carries it carries out that play very well because he makes you take a second look to make sure he doesn't have it. He gave it away to Lewis, the fullback, and Lewis got pretty good yardage out of it, close to 6. But was it Hughes said, if I'm going to fly with the Eagles, I got to get up with the chickens. He hurries. Second down, short 5. Eric Brown gets to midfield, and that'll leave him 2 yards short of his first down. It figures that Calvin Jones will show up, when we start the fourth quarter of play.
Number 98. Stop 10 to 50.
Oklahoma crowd hasn't had much to hoop about lately.
Not since the first quarter.
Third down and 2. This is Brown. One man. And he got it. He had just enough of an angle, and Johnson, Darius Johnson, John Anderson was the man running behind him. I don't believe Anderson would have caught him, but Johnson with the angle, number 42, was able to run him down.
Take a look at the line on the left side. It's Malin, number 62. Scott was 51, the center. You give him a little bit of a crack. Derek Brown, big run. First big one for Brown today.
So from midfield, he was out of bounds at the 43-yarder, 42 yards. And here goes Frazier. Throws into the end zone. It's incomplete. He could have kept it and taken it down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. And there's a penalty flag down at about the 2.
Oklahoma got smart that time. They started covering Armstrong, the tight end.
I think that's who he was throwing for, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Incidentally, Derek Brown is over 1,000 yards. He has 84 yards today. He has now on the season 1,011. And the penalties against Nebraska for blocking in the back, or pushing in the back.
Offensive pass interference.
Offensive pass interference. Yeah. Gave him a big push in the back. So we got one of the wee-backs over 1,000 yards today, Derek Brown. Now Calvin Jones will be along in a few minutes to see what he can do, a few seconds actually, see what he can do in the fourth quarter. 19-9, Nebraska leads Oklahoma as we come toward the end of the third quarter. And Calvin Jones needs 45 yards in the final period to go over 1,000 himself. And they would become the first pair to do it at Nebraska. When you look back in history, it's been some pretty fancy fellows running in those backfields up there, you know what?
Yes, there have. How about Craig and Rozier at the same time?
Absolutely. Calvin Jones is now the I-back. Frazier, a little shovel pass to him, and here he goes. Penalty flag. He's in the end zone, but let's see about the flag. That might come back.
From the reaction of Tommy Frazier, it's coming back.
Holding.
Well, this is a shovel pass against the blitz.
So they've had two big plays, and they've had two successive penalties, and the ball keeps coming out.
That's a smart play by Frazier. I mean, that's not the defense you want to run that play against. Pressure up the middle and pressure on the outside, but he saw a chance to get the ball shoveled forward before the defensive outside linebacker got to him. Just a very aware kid.
Put it on the 37-yard line.
That's probably as upset as you're ever going to see Dr. Tom.
Well, Nebraska's got 7 flags for 80 yards, and Oklahoma doesn't have a single one. Calvin Jones remains in there now. He's probably going to play most of this fourth quarter. We've got 43 seconds left in the third. Now, he didn't get a whole lot of chance there because he was running into the boundary, and Oklahoma had good pressure from the snap of the ball on it. That's Derek Brown administering to him. So he looks like he might be dinged up a little bit.
Got his shoulder pads off. I don't know whether if it's his shoulder or ribs or something.
Yeah, shoulder. There goes your ice pack. .32-yard line. 3rd down and 32.
Down the middle.
Could be picked off. It is. Intercepted by William Schenkel. So Nebraska's string of quarters without turnover comes to an end.
That's the first interception that Tommy Frazier has thrown in his college career. And he threw to the wrong man. Down the middle, top middle of your screen, you're not going to get to see it. The tight end is running free right at the top, but he throws it down the left side. This is probably what was open in practice. And you just can't make your mind up before you get the snap of the ball. You got to look and react to what you see.
Brewer and Rashid in the backfield now behind Gundy. And this is Brewer. That's the first Nebraska turnover in 452 plays. That's a lot in college football.
Oh, it's a lot for an option-style offense. It's a lot for a freshman-oriented, driven offense. It's just amazing.
They're going to let the 3rd quarter run out. And so at the end of the 3rd quarter, it is Nebraska 19 and Oklahoma 9. We'll be back with more after this message and a word from our ABC station.
You own some Zadcor, right? Think I should sell it?
I got out weeks ago, right after my broker's firm downgraded the stock. Now don't tell me that your broker's still hot on it.
Who knows? I use a discounter.
A discounter? What do you think? That just because you know how to make money, you know how to invest it?
Well, I just thought that, you know...
I've got a terrific guy over at Payne Weber. Call him.
Come on, how's some broker going to know what's right for me?
He'll ask.
Since the Honda Accord is America's best-selling car, why would you want to lease one? Well, for one thing, you won't have to drop a lot of cash. Introducing the Accord Lease Program. See your nearest dealer for details.
She made national headlines
She's a liar, or I'm a pervert.
and inspired an act of Congress.
My baby.
Based on the shocking true story, A Mother's Right, Sunday.
Get ready, get set, go to Peerless. Get maximum traction for your truck, 4x4, or RV with these studdable Baja off-road radials. These winter workhorses start at $84.99 with free mounting. For all-season traction, it's the Peerless Force 4 radial for your truck, 4x4, or RV, as low as $50.99 with free mounting. Go to Peerless today. See your white pages for the Peerless Tire Store in your neighborhood.
Recently, the Suzuki 4-door Sidekick was voted best in its class in Canada. Pretty impressive. I mean, this is the great frozen north, the Yukon, rugged, untamed wilderness. We're even picking up a video as an adventure. So what if they call each other Hosehead and end every other sentence with A? It's an honor, and we're going with it.
The Suzuki 4-wheel drive Sidekick JX, starting under $13,000. For great deals, see Grand, Heidman, Rottola, Shortline, or Valley Suzuki dealer today.
Living an HIV childhood. Jared's story tonight at 10.
19-9, Nebraska leads Oklahoma. The Cornhuskers have to win this game, and they have to win in Tokyo next Saturday over Kansas State to claim the Big 8 Conference title and get the ticket to the Orange Bowl. And Coach Tom is shaking his head over having to get on an airplane Tuesday to go to Japan. Oh, me.
And you have to win the ball game.
That's absolutely right. K-State's had an extra week to get ready for you. Gundy takes off under that kind of pressure. He didn't have much choice. And he gets just about to the line of scrimmage before Perella runs him down. Big John. Here's Big Jack.
Well, Keith, Derek Brown has got his 1,000 yards for the season, but he also has a separated shoulder. On his left side, they have pulled him out of the game. They say he will not play again. There's also a question mark about the trip to Tokyo and Kansas State.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he's got his 1,000 yards. He's 1,011. And you would think that they would want to keep him for a bowl game if they could get him well in time.
He'd trade a few of those yards for a healthy end of the season, though, you can be sure.
It's 3rd down and 7. Ernest Williams is now the deep back. Gundy stands up, throws quickly, throws hard. He goes right through the hands of Albert Hall. Hall caught 5 balls for 81 yards in the first quarter, but since then, he has not caught a ball. In fact, that's the first time he's seen it since early in the second quarter.
And it's a nice route. This ball is just thrown too hard. Threw it right through his hands. In the third quarter, Oklahoma didn't get a yard passing. No yards passing for Oklahoma in the third quarter.
Not going to come from behind to win it at that pace. Now Tyrone Hughes is waiting for Brad Riddell's punt. We just started the fourth quarter of play, 19-9, Nebraska by 10. Not a very good kick there, but it's a tail dragger and fielded by Hughes. And what Hughes did there, he may have taken a little punishment, although the tackle did not look severe, but he made it a 40-yard punt. If he leaves it alone, it's going to roll at least another 20. So he did the right thing.
Here are your numbers after 3 quarters of play. You can see the plays are almost even now. Nebraska has really pulled even, and also the time of possession they've caught up. Passing yards for Oklahoma, the same after 3 quarters as they were after the first half.
Frazier keeps it. Frazier is thrown down hard, penalty flag. Thrown down hard beyond the field of play. It might have been Larry Bush that took him down after they got out of bounds. But Frazier, he's servicing there. He's not a gimme. He's 6 feet. He weighs 190 pounds. And it's a personal foul call against Oklahoma, but Frazier comes back out. For whatever it was, it hasn't diminished his appetite.
Yeah, I guess he was out of bounds before the extracurricular activity. Took him down a little hard, I'd say.
So that's at the 39-yard line of Oklahoma. And the way the game has been going now of late, touchdown here for Nebraska might be a door slammer. That's your fullback, Lewis, number 26. Put him at 31. Calvin Jones has a chance here in this quarter with his partner Derek Brown, shoulder separation, they think. You can have a shoulder separation and it'll be sore. You can get over that pretty quick sometimes.
Depends how severe the injury is.
Yep. Sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes even you have to have surgery. Frazier backs up to throw it into the corner. Incomplete. Is that Armstrong? Yes, 95. Gerald Armstrong. R.G. Gerald from Ponca, Nebraska.
Play action. Now Oklahoma and Bush says, hey, you've done this to us once before. You'd caught 6 of these coming in.
Yeah, he almost caught that one.
Yeah, you're right. And a great effort. He was covered, but he made a great effort to go up after it. You remember Johnny Mitchell? Tied in for Nebraska?
Yep.
Left school early and is now playing with the Jets.
Here goes Calvin Jones.
You know, he's got all the speed he wants, but the patience that he shows, allowing his men to get up in front and block, don't rush it, let them do their thing, and then I've got this in reserve in case I get to the opening, then I can turn it on.
Boy, he just glides, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what makes him such a good runner. One of the advantages of having the wee backs or 2 backs that can play, when one gets hurt like Brown has, Jones now can come on and carry the load.
13 minutes to play of the game. Penalty flag, stop them. Procedure against the Huskers. Zateka comes out for Nebraska.
Second half yardage for Nebraska, 180 yards. Oklahoma, only 24.
And Zach Wiegert goes back in at that right tackle position. So the big people up front for Nebraska beginning, I think, to turn this thing, don't you?
Yes. They just keep wearing on it.
Right up the pipe. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line before Darius Johnson can take his legs away. He's a little bit short of the first down. They've got to go to the 11 to get the first down. (19-9), Cornhuskers. I would imagine a lot of folks in Colorado interested in seeing how this thing goes. There's no television planned for coverage of that K-State-Nebraska game next week in Tokyo.
We could have some Colorado guys making some phone calls.
There's your first down right there. It'll be first down Nebraska at the Oklahoma 7 or 8 yard line with Frazier keeping the ball.
You know that game in Tokyo, the Nebraska K-State game, is supposed to start at 6 a.m. Tokyo time. 6 a.m.
Why?
I don't know why. You mentioned television, and I said, well, I wonder why they getting started then. Maybe it's because they can be on their body time in the United States. That means they have to have their pregame meal at 2 o'clock in the morning.
First and goal from the 8, and Calvin Jones taken down just short of the 5. So at 11:35 to go in the ball game, they're eating up the clock. It's the Coca-Cola Bowl they've got over there. Jones now coming up on 100 yards on 15 carries. He's got 98 now. But I don't know, it's just a funny circumstance because they made the decision a year ago, and now all of a sudden it's dumped on them, and it's quite a burden.
I think, you sure that game's not going to be telecast back to Nebraska?
Educational Television wanted to do it. It cost $60,000 and they couldn't afford it. Unless some good Samaritan has stepped up here. Frazier's feet go from under him as he turned to pivot, plant the foot, and set the throw. The foot went.
That's the second or third time that Frazier, an opposing player not used to this field, has slipped on it. We mentioned it is an old field and does not have the traction that it once did. He had a man wide open too. The fullback was right out in the flat.
It wasn't even his plant foot. It was the left foot as he started to make his cut. So it's third down and 14 for the touchdown. 10-point lead right now for the Huskers. Handed off to Jones. Here he goes. Touchdown. Fumble in the end zone. Touchdown. Nebraska's got the ball. Looked like Jones was able to recover his own fumble.
Or else he was in before he fumbled.
I thought he was in before he fumbled.
Formation, 3 wide receivers to the right side, shows pass, and it's a draw. Look at this effort to get in. I don't know, that was out before he looked to me like it was out.
Yep.
The 2 Nebraska players there to recover.
Yep. He got the touchdown, but he took some pounding.
That's a smart play by an Oklahoma player coming up from behind him to knock it out. I think that was Anderson, the safety.
So Jones now with 999 yards this year. He needs one more for 1,000. So here's your extra point try now with Byron Bennett, Stiggy holding, and Aaron Graham snapping. Good. 10:03 to play in the game, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers 26, Oklahoma 9.
Road noise has to go through a lot to get into the cabin of a Lexus ES 300. That's why it rarely makes the trip.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, that's my phone.
I'll connect you now.
Bonjour, here are the drawings.
Looks good from here.
Hello.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Au revoir.
Hitachi makes digital communication systems and 20,000 other amazing products. Hitachi.
For the battery that performs 3 times better than industry standards, you've got to get to Sears.
Out here, if you don't have a diehard, you don't have a prayer.
Sears Die Hard, the battery you can count on for more power when you need it most.
When the Schultz's home was damaged, they saw how State Farm reacts.
Your State Farm agent and a State Farm claims representative go right to work for you.
We work together to avoid needless hassles and delays and speed your homeowner's claim. To help you get your life back to normal as soon as possible, our teamwork speeds your claim.
It's another reason State Farm insures more homes than anyone else.
State Farm is there.
It's a high noon showdown between national powers. 6th-ranked Florida invades number 3 Florida State for a shootout with the Seminoles. Saturday on ABC's College Football.
I'm not responsible for that dynamic duo, folks. But those are notable numbers for Derek Brown, and Calvin Jones is sure to get over 1,000, one would think, before this day is done. Just having scored the touchdown to make it 26-9.
And they'll both be back next year along with Frazier.
Ball bounces and will be returned by Brewer. Well, sort of. My goodness. He's taken down at the 9-yard line. Toby Wright got there first. Tomorrow, an ABC College Football day-night doubleheader. The Gators and Seminoles will have at it at noon in Tallahassee. It'll be 9 in the morning out on the West Coast, and then at 8 Eastern, at 5 Pacific time, 7 Central tomorrow, Notre Dame and USC will play their annual in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. It's Brewer and Chandler and Williams in the backfield. This is Williams. And up to about the 15 for 6 yards. Gundy is still on the field as the quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners.
And as you were reading that promo, Keith, for our games tomorrow, Gundy was running on the field, and some more booze. To bring you up to date, Steve Collins, the option quarterback, filled in for Gundy. There you see Collins filled in for him a couple of games while he was hurt, did very well, won 2 games, and that was part of the reason the team had this little meeting last week. Some of them were upset about the quarterback play.
There's Hall finally getting a catch. First one he's had since the first quarter. It's out to the 21-yard line, and it's good for a first down, and here's Jack.
Heath, this battle is beginning to take its toll on Tommy Frazier as well. He's coming over here, and he has his hand, his thumb, is being iced down. Let me show you what happened. They say he didn't hyperextend it, but he took a bad bruise right in this area here. They don't want to take any chances. They're icing it down, but he will play.
That was what hurt him on the sideline when he was thrown down on the personal foul, probably. First down for the Sooners out at the 21. 9:06 to go in the game. Oklahoma needs one here quickly. Gundy can't find anybody. There was nobody available. I couldn't see anybody either, and I'm sitting up here in the crow's nest. Terry Connealy ran him down. There's Tommy. Manatee High School, Bradenton, Florida.
Last 2 years in high school, he threw for 33 touchdowns and ran for another 30.
And they really like him in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Not just because
Tom's
he's a
not...
football player. They say he's just a terrific kid.
Yeah.
He had his choice, too. He could have gone just about anywhere he wanted to go, and a lot of people were inviting him.
Well, Lou Holtz in Notre Dame would love to have had him.
What was it? Jimmy Walden. This is Ernie Williams carrying the ball. Jimmy Walden had a great line. Walden, he was a pretty funny guy. Jerry says, I'd give parts of my body to have a quarterback like him.
Well, getting back to Cale Gundy, as he's continuing to hear some boos, Gary Gibbs says, you know, I'll run this club the way I need to run it. And this is not the time to put in an option-style quarterback. You need a quarterback that can throw the ball. You're trying to play catch-up.
3rd down and 4.
That will not sit well with the fans that are a little disgruntled anyway.
Yeah, well, I want to tell you why. It's not his fault. You know where he fell down? He fell down on a seam. And I was down there on that field yesterday while they were working out. And the ball, take a tight shot of the ball where it is right now, and you'll see that seam where he falls down. See it?
I think his feet got tangled up there, Keith.
Yeah, look at that seam, though.
Well, there's a seam there,
It sticks up half an inch at least.
It's Derek Jones.
No, Derek Brown.
Derek Brown.
He's through for the day. He's going to the clubhouse. Probably x-ray him before they go home. Brad Riddell is in the punt. Oh, my goodness, look at that. That's Hughes. He's got all kinds of room. All the way back to the 30 and inside to the 29-yard line. 7:18 to play in the game, and Nebraska's back knocking on the door.
Nipper and Chipper show us what the RCA home theater with SRS sound looks like. Now they show us what it feels like. Looks like. Feels like. Looks like. Feels like. Any questions?
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
My voice has been pre-recorded to demonstrate a remarkable point. A car phone so well conceived it's not only portable, but voice activated. Now, dialing's as easy as this. Call office.
Thank you for calling Lexus. May I help you?
If you really want to enjoy one round of golf this year, there's just one tip to remember. Watch the Skins game Saturday on ABC Sports.
All right, what have we missed? What? The implications of this ball game for the Oklahoma Sooners are these. If they don't win this game, and it's becoming an unlikely circumstance, they're through for the season. They're done. You have to have 6 wins in Division 1A competition to qualify for a bowl game, and they've got a problem. This is Calvin Jones, and he's gone over 1,000 yards right there. So Nebraska has 2 backs with over 1,000 yards in a single season. Messrs. Derek Brown and Calvin Jones. One's a junior and one is a sophomore. Right now, believe it or not, both of them total 1,011 yards.
Both running backs will be back next year. Both wide receivers will be back. And 3 of their 5 offensive linemen are back.
Well, Derek Brown said the degree was so important to him that he'd quit playing football if he had to in order to get his degree. Lance Lewis carries that time, and we'll have it inside the 15. Greg Pruitt and Jack Mildren did it for Oklahoma in 71, Joe Washington and Wayman Clark in 73, and J.J. Flanagan and Darian Hagan in 89 for Colorado. Jack Mildren, in case you don't know, is the lieutenant governor of Oklahoma, and I still say maybe the best option quarterback I ever saw. Came out of Abilene, Texas. They're still swapping paint down there,
They are, aren't they?
Calvin Jones with that carry. 6:15 to go in a ball game, and now we see Steve Collins throwing the ball on the sidelines for Oklahoma. I would think that he'd be running a little bit to loosen his legs, too.
That's for sure. He's the option quarterback. Loosen your legs and not your arm.
3rd down and 5 now, and Byron Bennett loosening up on the sidelines in case they don't get the first down here. He'll be coming on for the kick. Time called by Nebraska. Tommy Frazier will come to the sideline. I don't think he had the people in for the play that he had called. Here's Jack.
Well, Keith, I'm going to take your side on that question of whether Gundy slipped or not. Now, here are the seams on this artificial turf. Now, remember, these seams are every 2 yards on this turf. Also, this is one of the steepest fields I've ever seen. There's about a 2.5 to 3 foot pitch, a peak in the middle. So I'm going to disagree with our quarterback Greasy and say he tripped on this. I'm on your side, Keith.
All right, Jack. Yeah, he's about to throw something at me, but he's all right.
Yeah, well, we'll just see who gets the final word here.
This crowd is about 3 feet. It's the old way. When they first started putting the rugs down across the country, they put in some severe crowd. And
we have to have it.
Yeah, to get the water off of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And some of the newer ones, though, the crowds have been lessened. But in a climate such as this, it's very handy, and particularly for a university where its stadium is an all-purpose facility.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Not to mention that it's like playing on 5th Street.
Playing on what? Fifth Avenue?
5th Avenue, anywhere. Madison Avenue, any street. Like playing on concrete.
3rd down and 5. They go to Jones. And he's close, but I don't think he got there. I think Mr. Bennett will show up here in a minute. Down and a yard.
Over in the far corner of the stadium, there is a area of Oklahoma fans that are still here.
They're going for it. They don't send the kicker in on 4th and 1. And they get the first down as Jones slashes over the left side. And they get him at the 6. It'll be 1st down and goal for Nebraska. And you got 4:50 to play. Calvin Jones, very impressive youngster. Sophomore from Omaha. Joining his running mate, Derek Brown, over 1,000 yards today. Got it again. And he's down to the 2. Crowd starting to leave now. A lot of pine showing, as they say. Oklahoma's going to finish off the year at 5-4-2, right?
Yeah, I expected to do a lot better than that.
8-3 last year. Schlesinger is in the ball game in front of Jones. Corey Schlesinger, a sophomore from Duncan, Nebraska, and he helps open the door for Calvin Jones, who sticks it in the end zone.
'51 is the center at Scott, playing right next to Shields, the All-American. You don't get a lot of attention, but Scott Osborne said maybe the best center to ever play at Nebraska. And Calvin Jones is more than happy to run behind those two guys.
Extra point try coming from Bennett. Remember last week you were talking about having a back go through a hole, lead back? Oh, I tell you, nobody does it better than Nebraska at sending the lead back through there to pick off that linebacker. It's 33-9.
The Lexus ES300 features a very advanced suspension system that helps it maintain excellent straight-line stability as speed increases, or even as it decreases.
It seems Europeans have a passion for certain things, American. And one of them happens to be the reliable, efficient delivery of a certain American delivery company, UPS. Fact is, we've built the most comprehensive delivery network in Europe. So next time you need something shipped there, use the outfit Europeans find, well, so fashionable. UPS. We run the tightest ship in Europe.
Braun introduces Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head. It automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Flex Control from Braun, the last word in shavers.
Now save 25% on selected Goodyear all-season radials for cars and light trucks. Save 25% on Invicta GS. Save 25% on Wrangler AT and HT. That's right, save 25%. Where? Goodyear. When? Now.
There are the stats on the Nebraska scoring drive. Huskers will kick it off now. Tom Seiler's going to kick it off. And drifting under it is Michael Thompson. And they put him on the ground at about the 21-yard line. Troy Dumas hurrying downfield to take care of him. Monday, the Denver Broncos go to the Great Pacific Northwest. And that cheering in the background is for, I bet you, Steve Collins coming into the game, isn't it?
Yep.
I thought so. Monday, the Denver Broncos are battling for the lead in the AFC West. They'll meet the Seattle Seahawks at 9 Eastern Time on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. So there's what the cheers were about. And a timeout for Nebraska. So the Huskers say, wait a minute, hold the phone. Troy Branch coming to the sidelines, and he wants to talk about the defensive alignment because of number 10 who showed up in the ball game. And here's Jack.
Keith, you know we always talk about football and football teams, and a lot of people say, well, where do academics fit? When you take a look at the University of Nebraska, it fits right at the top, because according to the NCAA, Nebraska is ranked number 1 for the number of academic All-Americans that they have had throughout their football history. They rank number 1 with 41 academic All-Americans. And what about the Oklahoma Sooners? Well, they're not too far behind with 17. They're ranked 5th.
I want to correct it. I looked at it and I called him Seiler. It's Tom Sealer who kicked off for Nebraska. S-I-E. Ball is on the 21-yard line. 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the football game. 33-9. The Cornhuskers have won this game. They have one more to claim in Tokyo next Saturday against Kansas State. And there's the man who engineered things today, Mr. Tommy Frazier.
You drawing up a new play or something he'd like to run or what?
I'm just writing Happy Thanksgiving to your grandma.
There you go.
Collins lets it go. The intended receiver gets tangled up trying to come back to the football and falls down. And Jawan Penny had no chance to get to it because the defender had played him well, and down he went.
Can you imagine the problems Gary Gibbs is going to have with the media here and the fans if Collins comes in and engineers a real quick drive down the field?
Yeah, but he's against the second unit.
That's true. No, Gil, I'm just funning a little bit. Gibbs is a very strong-willed. He's made a commitment to go to the passing game 2.5 years ago, and it just doesn't happen overnight. These fans here still love the option, even though it's been 2.5 years or whatever since they made the commitment to give it up. Colorado gave up the run game going to the pass. Oklahoma, Missouri's throwing it a lot. The Big Eight used to run the ball all the time, and now Nebraska is really the only team in the Big Eight that is predominantly run.
First down, ball up on just over the 32. That's a first down at the 48-yard line. Kareem Moss finally brought him down for Nebraska. So those few who are still here get a chance to cheer as Collins shows he's still got some run left in him. He's a senior.
You're right. As you take a look at Gundy, he is the new Oklahoma, and Collins, a fifth-year senior, was recruited by Barry Switzer to be his option quarterback.
Lets it go. That is penalty flag. You betcha. Tink Collins is down there. And number 29, Kareem Moss, he had cut in front of Moss, and Moss reached over the shoulder and hacked at the ball, and that's a foul.
Well, the coverage is there, but he doesn't. Moss in the white shirt does not see the ball. Collins sees it and comes back for it.
That's 9 penalties for an even 100 yards for the Cornhuskers.
Hello, Lan.
Well, Moss hooks him with the left arm and then hacks him with the right one.
Well, he hooked him with the left, and that's what got the flag.
Yep. So that'll be 15 yards and a first down.
Dr. Tom went to high school. He's from Nebraska. That is a high school star here. Then, as you mentioned earlier, Keith, he went to Hastings. He was a star quarterback in college and played 3 years in the pros with the Redskins and the 49ers. So he's played at all levels.
Drafted in the 19th round in 1959. Ball rests at the 37-yard line of Oklahoma. Here's your option. Pitch it back. Goes to Joel Brewer. And Brewer is caught by number 54, Troy Branch, who's playing that weak linebacker position in relief of Ed Stewart. He's earned a chance to sit on the bench. Ed had the only touchdown in the first half with a pass interception and a 50-yard return. Kevin Raymakers, Billy Wade getting some action. Troy Dumas, Ernie Beeler, Barrett Miles, all in that secondary. Got a man over there, but he underthrows him. That's the freshman P.J. Mills, who's not going unless he makes a catch. If he makes one more catch, I think, today, he ties Jim Owen's record.
Yeah, but it's clear the inefficiencies and the lack of ability of Collins in throwing the ball. He's had a couple of receivers open, and the ball has been underthrown versus his running. He is a much better runner than Gundy, but Oklahoma making the commitment you know, he's like a dinosaur. He's on the way out as far as what Oklahoma wants to do. Some of the fans in the stands kind of remembering those old days.
This is Brewer. And the Huskers get after him down at the 25-yard line. With the loss by Oklahoma, who seemingly had a ticket to go to the Aloha Bowl, and I can't say this to you officially because I'm not spokesman for the Aloha Bowl, but sifting through the logic of it, I would say the Kansas Jayhawks will probably have their ticket by tomorrow night to go to Honolulu. Maybe even before supper tonight. Collins is taken down, trying to throw the ball. That must be a fumble. And it is ruled a fumble. And it's Nebraska's ball at midfield as Donta Jones was the man over there pursuing number 84 and knocked it loose.
Started to throw it to the tight end in the middle of the field, and it's a good thing he didn't. That referee did not see that. He threw the ball away. He grounded it, but the referee was blocked out by Jones and didn't see it. That was not a fumble. That was either a intentional grounding or an incomplete pass.
It's McDonald's Holiday Film Festival, now featuring the American epic Dances with Wolves. The original full-length video, unbelievably priced at just $7.99 when you buy any large sandwich. So hurry in and pick up Dances with Wolves. Also available, the family favorite, Babes in Toyland, and the hilarious Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. These films just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
There are two ways to put a movie theater in your home. You could build one. Or you could simply buy the giant 35-inch RCA home theater with SRS sound. It's the easiest way to get a movie theater in your home.
A raindrop may reach the 1993 Lexus LS400. Getting inside is another matter. An improved side rail weather stripping channels more water away from open doors and windows. So while you make your journey in comfort, the raindrop makes its in vain. The 1993 LS400. The pursuit continues.
No wonder he's part of it, Zip, too.
The argument rages on. It does indeed. The ball is at the 50-yard line, roughly, just a little bit short of it. It belongs to Nebraska. They lead in the ball game by a score of 33-9. You've got 1 minute and 56 seconds to play in the ball game, and Mike Grant is now in at quarterback for the Cornhuskers. Mike Grant is the young man who started the season at quarterback. Hands the ball to Corey Schlesinger. He gets his first carry of the game. And let's go back to the previous play that gave Nebraska possession.
No. This is a long time ago. This is K.O. Gundy. Watch the fullback. We're talking about the seam tripping him versus...
Oh, you're still arguing about that?
Oh, yeah. Watch the fullback's foot hit Gundy right there. Now Gundy's foot comes over and kicks his own foot. And there's no seam involved on that.
Boy, are you a sore loser.
Well, I'm just trying to straighten out a root.
All right. Okay, Greasy, I saw it. I still don't believe it. Remember one thing. Keith's been doing this for about 30 years. I was born at night, but not last night. I know whose side to take.
30 years? I wish it was. Got a Nebraska man shaken up on the play. So timeout for him for a moment. Andre McDuffie got caught underneath the pileup. And they're talking to him now. 1:09 to play in the football game, and tomorrow on ABC Sports, the Skins game with Fred Kumpels, Tom Kite, Payne Stewart, Greg Norman. And it's out in Palm Desert, California, Bighorn Golf Club, new place, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on ABC Sports.
That should be fun, huh?
Oh, yeah. Put the ball third down on the Sooners' 43-yard line. Just a matter of running out the clock now. This issue has been resolved some time ago. It's Jeff Makovica, a sophomore from Brainerd, Nebraska, carrying the ball. We're inside a minute now. As you move the chains, the clock stops in college football. So the first down means they move the change. The decision in this ball game with Nebraska winning means that Kansas is almost surely headed for Honolulu and the Aloha Bowl against BYU. Tony Veland is now in at quarterback for Nebraska. So everybody getting in there to get a snap or two. And set them up for the trip to the Far East. I tell you what, I would almost pay to go see it if Tom Osborne, the buses get caught in traffic going to the stadium, because I have seen Tom get so frustrated sitting in traffic that he got off the bus and walked.
Yep.
And I can just imagine him trying to endure Tokyo traffic going to the stadium. Oh, me. So 5 seconds now, stops on the clock. Nebraska Cornhuskers won this football game, and they roll along with one more against Kansas State. Oklahoma remains committed, and I repeat to you what Donnie Duncan said a little while ago, the athletic director, that there is a firm commitment that Gary Gibbs will be the coach of the Sooners until he sees the fruits of his labor, and that means remaking the football program here at the University of Oklahoma. A total changeover from what Barry Switzer had here before, albeit however successful Barry's programs had been. And there's your final score. Nebraska 33, Oklahoma 9. Now let's join Jack Arute as he talks with Tom Osborne.
Well, Coach, first of all, congratulations. What were the big changes you made in the second half compared to the first half, because you really opened it up?
Well, we went to a dime defense, which helped us a lot defensively. We had to get out of our 50 front. We got the ball away from a little bit, had the ball second half. I thought our offensive line played well. I thought our defense played well once we got settled down, but first quarter we only had the ball 3 plays, so I didn't know if we were ever going to get it back.
And now you've got to make that long trip to Tokyo. How much time are you going to have to savor this one?
Not very long. We hope Keith Jackson will come along with us. He thought that'd be a good trip, good vacation.
Well, now, he was just talking before. He said he thought you might get frustrated if the buses get caught in that Japanese traffic.
Well, it'll be a cultural experience, I'm sure of that.
But seriously, did you ever expect that it would be this close for a trip to the Orange Bowl, that you would have your back to the wall the way you have for the last couple of games?
No, we'd hoped we'd put it away a little bit earlier, but as it is, we're pleased to beat Oklahoma. We got to beat Kansas State now.
Standout players today, who would you pick?
Well, I think our offensive line played well. John Farrell on defense, and I think Calvin Jones came in and played well. Derek Brown got hurt.
Well, go in and congratulate him. Thanks a lot, Coach. Keith?
All right, thanks very much. We'll be back with more in just a moment with your final score. Nebraska 33 and Oklahoma 9.
America's first Napa Auto Parts.
At Napa, you'll always find top quality parts at a fair price. Plus, great holiday gift ideas for under $20. Like Napa's toy truck with real truck sounds, just $19.95. Black & Decker's Carback Plus, only $19.95. And Napa's 3-amp battery charger, just $4.95 after rebate. Save on great gifts for under $20. At Napa, America's first choice.
No better way to face the day.
It's another non-stop day, so start out with Speed Stick, the wide stick. It's long-lasting protection against wetness and odor. It's 110% protection that helps you feel cool and confident all day. That's why more men face their day with Speed Stick.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
Just try Black & Decker's Power Driver with torque control. You'll notice one major difference, the clutch. The higher the setting, the more powerful it gets. Power Driver and Power Driver with torque control from Black & Decker.
Ace means quality, so look for this name.
I know you're getting the very best.
Right, Dad.
Ace 25 outdoor light sets are only $588, and this Ace 45-piece socket set with lifetime warranty is just $1888.
Ace label product.
Another reason why Ace is the place.
For you.
The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Calvin Jones for the University of Nebraska, 22 carries, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Big effort in the second half for him, and he, like Derek Brown, has gone over 1,000 yards for the season. And Albert Hall, 6 catches, 87 yards for the University of Oklahoma. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to help those in financial need. Coming up, the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Oh, stay with us.
Tomorrow, ABC Sports kicks off with a battle between national powers. The Florida Gators invade Florida State in a high noon showdown. Then Fred Couples, Tom Kite, Greg Norman, and Payne Stewart go head-to-head as coverage of the Skins game begins. And in a primetime special, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame head west to tackle their longtime rival, USC. CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By Norelco patented lift and cut shavers, we make close comfortable. By Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by UPS, for reliable on-time delivery throughout Europe and around the world, you can trust UPS. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Children misbehaving, acting on impulse, unable to learn because of something their mothers did before they were born. Plus,
want to make money in the stock market? 2020's method. Meet the experts.
They may not be stupid, but they may not be any brighter than you.
The stock market is like a gambling casino.
Watch 2020 tonight.
How come you've got a cuckoo clock, Romeo? I don't want to miss Soundcheck's big sale. That's right, the day after Thanksgiving from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 12 big hours. A great time to get a gift for yourself. No kidding. All those big-name TVs, stereos, VCRs at rock-bottom prices. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Must be time to go to Soundtrack. Yeah, right. I saw your lips move. Soundtrack. Big names, little prices. Guaranteed.
Oh, hi. The holidays are such a special time. Belt sander for the watch. Around here, we like getting all bundled up and going to Builder Square. Saving on gifts, trees, trimming, lights, everything to make the holidays more festive. Even industrial-sized eggnog mixers. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh.
With winter upon us, Nissan would like you to know that if you buy or lease a new Pathfinder now, Nissan will give you a genuine 4 seasons roof rack with a ski attachment and 2 lift tickets good at 253 ski resorts in the United States and Canada. What are you waiting for? Christmas? Lease a Pathfinder XE now for just $279 a month.
The Broncos hammer the Seahawks Monday night on Channel 9.
The Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental. Because it's your money.
Well, the Sooner Schooners had a busy day, but alas, it is a sad day. Their team lost by a score of 33-9. And here is Jack Arute now with some of the victorious Cornhuskers.
Keith, the first one is Calvin Jones, 1,000 yards rushing this year plus. But Calvin, what was the difference in the second half that allowed you to rack up the yards?
I think it was due to our offensive linemen. They were really coming off the ball, and the receivers were blocking on the perimeters. So you really have to take your hat off to the offensive line.
Keith, it's his birthday today. This was one whale of a birthday present.
Yeah, this is the best present I've ever had.
And a guy that helped with part of that present is the quarterback for the Huskers, Tommy Frazier. Tommy, now this trip to Tokyo becomes so important. How concerned are you about it?
Well, we're not that concerned. We're just going to go and prepare ourselves like we always do, go and have a hard week of practice, and hopefully win the game.
Well, Keith, as you know, we're on our way to the USC Notre Dame game. I've got the Sooner Scooter to take us to the airport. I'll see you there.
At Thrifty Car Rental, we understand how therapeutic vacations can be. Getting away from the little power plays. Reassessing your personal goals. So to help make your vacation a relaxing one, when you're shopping for a rental car, call Thrifty and rent a full-size four-door like the new Chrysler Concorde. Just $34.95 a day.
When I need a car, I always rent from Thrifty. So remember, when it's your money, call 1-800-4CARS.
Christmas is about families. And so is this computer, the Tandy 2500 RSX from Radio Shack. For the incredible price of $799.95, you get a 386SX 25 megahertz processor with 24 built-in programs for budgeting, word processing, and home education, with the power to run PC-compatible software, made in America by American families. Christmas, families, and the Tandy 2500 RSX, they go together. From Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Your final score, 33-9, as the shadows grow long on the campus of the University of Oklahoma in Norman. And Bob Greasy, let's talk for a second about the possibility of a tie between Nebraska and Colorado. There's some people that don't really understand what might happen. You talked to Nick Crane of the Orange Bowl Selection Committee this morning.
Well, if Nebraska wins in Japan, they go, and if they lose, Colorado goes. But if they tie, that's a different matter. The Orange Bowl Committee does have the choice, and Nick Crane is the chairman of that committee, and he thought it would go to the committee, obviously, but he thought himself that they would probably go with Nebraska, only because he said that the Cotton Bowl is putting, A&M, Texas A&M, is putting pressure on the Cotton Bowl to take Florida State, because Florida State is unbeaten. Florida State jumped over Texas A&M, and they want to get a piece of them. That means that Notre Dame might be going to the Orange Bowl, and a Nebraska matchup with Notre Dame would be better than Colorado-Notre Dame, because the last 2 years Colorado has been there, they've played against Notre Dame.
You confused? Me too. Wait, we'll all read about it.
It seems that most car rental companies go out of their way to confuse you with unpredictable rates. They're all over the place. Thrifty, on the other hand, never veers off course. To keep your rates low, we've always kept our cost low.
You can use this credit card for Montgomery Ward car rental at participating Thrifty locations and at the Auto Express in Montgomery Ward.
When it's your money, always call Thrifty.
Some fur. Some fur. Everyone fur. Whoa, 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 his scent.
Preferred stock cologne from Stetson. What preferred men prefer.
This could be the biggest shot of Jeff Sluman's career.
What do you think? I think you're right. Diet Dr. Pepper does taste more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. The taste you've been looking for.
The Thrifty Car Rental Post-Game Report has been brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, because it's your money.
Tomorrow, day-night doubleheader. Noon Eastern Time, Florida and Florida State in Tallahassee here on ABC Sports. At 8 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Time, Notre Dame and USC. Today, our final in Norman, 33-9, Nebraska beat Oklahoma.
Roseanne's husband fires writing